skeleton on his television program as he related the story of his teacher, Mr. Laswell, who felt his students had come to think of the Pledge of Allegiance as merely something to recite in class each day. Now, more than ever, listen to the meaning of these words. I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. May I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one. Pledge, dedicate all my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion. To the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. United, that means that we've all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states, 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the Republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, and not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands one nation. One nation meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or quality of dealing fairly with others, for all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance, under God. Now, wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that's a prayer, and that it would be eliminated from schools too? God bless America.
Today's KSVIP is Francine Guerrero. Francine works at Holly Asphalt, and Sunday is Francine's birthday. Happy birthday! We hope you have a wonderful day. And this is from the Blue-Eyed Troll. Today, Francine, you're going to receive a flower from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Francine Guerrero.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Can't you see I'm wide and nerdy? Look at me, I'm wide and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. I'm just too wide and nerdy. Really, really wide and nerdy. Class here at MIT, got skills.
Well, hey, good morning, and welcome once again to the Good Morning Artesia radio show with pictures. It is Friday, October 28th. It is the 7 o'clock hour, hour number 1, and we're so glad you are with us today. We have a studio audience today. Program observer Lana Faber is sitting out there at the lobby at our pub tables, and she's enjoying her McDonald's breakfast and is observing the program from right here in the lobby this morning. So we're happy to have her with us today, and we're going to recap volleyball. It was Volleyball Thursday last night, so we'll kind of recap what happened with the volleyball games last night. It's Football Friday for some, Football Saturday for us tomorrow, so we'll be happy about that. And then we'll just kind of talk about some other stuff going on. Linda won't be with us today. She said that a little under the weather, didn't want to infect the rest of the radio station, so we won't have Linda with us. But we will have our library chat. And of course, tomorrow is the big day. It's Trick or Treat Artesia, and that's going to be a big fun event in downtown Artesia and at the library tomorrow, so we'll talk about that. Dr. Larry Young sat down with us a couple of weeks ago for an interview talking pet stuff, and we're going to finish up the show with that interview at 9:45. And also in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have a visit from Lisa Dillon. She's the band director, varsity band director for the Artesia Band, and they're not going to be marching tomorrow in Las Cruces, but we want to kind of just talk about how the season went. They had that superior rating at the marching competition and so forth. So we'll have Mrs. Dillon with us in the 9 o'clock hour, as well as Aaron and our other features and news items and good stuff like that. A little bit of rainfall that kind of blew through the area last night, and I was a little nervous. Gabe's been working on the roof of our trailer, one of our trailers, our remote trailers back behind the radio station, and the other night he did some patchwork, and then it rained, and we found where it was still had a little leak, and so then he did some more work on it and some more work on it, and Lana says it rained overnight. I said, really? So when we got here this morning, I looked in the trailer, and everything was good. So I think we got that figured out. That goes back up to Roswell today. Roswell and Goddard, the big crosstown rivalry football game, is tonight at the Bowl of Wool in Roswell, New Mexico, and we'll have radio and TV coverage. We'll have a Goddard perspective and a Roswell perspective and all that going on. And our Roswell crew is going to get to use the new camera deck that we had constructed there at the Wool Bowl so that they don't have fans' heads get in the way of shots. Oh, my gosh. One of the touchdowns, I think it was the last touchdown that Goddard got in the game against Artesia. It was in the southwest corner of the end zone, which is closest to the home bleachers, closest to the home side. And up until tonight, we've had our camera people basically standing at the top of the bleachers, top of the stands. And so there's people sitting around right around us. And we're not real high up in the air with the camera, so anytime fans stand up to cheer, which is what you want them to do, they tended to pop in front of our camera position. And so that's what happened. There was a little bit of controversy, if you will, over the touchdown. There was a penalty call on the play. Was the player in? Was the player out? And it was ruled holding penalty on Artesia and a touchdown, and for Goddard. And so we're going back and looking at the video as the throw goes into the corner of the end zone, and you see the flag come out, and then just as it gets ready to conclude, the play gets ready to conclude, a fan stands up right in front of Jeffrey's camera, and so all you see is the back of the head and the celebration. So we said we got to fix that. That's got to be we got to keep that from happening. So we got that taken care of this week. So that was all good. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what kind of weather we're going to have. How long is this cloudiness going to stick around with us, and are we going to have a decent weekend? Let's find out. Steve, get in here. What do we know?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We had that cold front move through yesterday, and now we have high pressure back over our area, so things look good. It'll be cool today with our afternoon high staying at around 60, and it could be very windy with gusts of 25 to 45 miles per hour. Watch out for some blowing dust. Overnight, partly cloudy, and our low in the upper 30s, upper 60s, and sunny on Saturday, and not as windy, fair Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to calm down as far as the winds are concerned until 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then that's when the clouds will move out. The sun will poke its head out of the sky there to warm us up. Right now, breezy and 47 in Artesia, humidity at 70%. The dew point is 37. Winds are out of the north at 18 miles per hour, so it feels like it's 40 out there, even though it's 47. Our pressure at 30.18 and on the rise. Our air quality is 47. We have good air quality. Unofficially, 5/100ths of an inch of precipitation in the last 6 hours, but hopefully the rainfall has ended for the day. Sunset will be at 6:10 this afternoon. Sunrise will be at 7:13 tomorrow morning. And again, it should continue to be pretty breezy and windy until around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Carlsbad, breezy and 47, 46 in Roswell and Hobbs. Around the state, clear, 31 in Albuquerque, 28 in Santa Fe. Partly cloudy, 30 in Cloudcroft. Mostly cloudy, 32 in Ruidoso. Clear skies, 41 in Las Cruces, 22 in Farmington. That's right, 22 in Farmington, 17 at Red River at this hour. Breezy and 43 in Clovis, and over there in West Texas, they're still seeing some of the effects of the storm. Drizzle, and 48 in Lubbock. Clear, and 40 in El Paso. So maybe that'll move on out of there. They've got a big football game tomorrow night in Lubbock. Baylor is in town, and that game is a Saturday evening game at Jones AT&T Stadium there in Lubbock, Texas. Lunch menus today. We've got pancake on a stick for breakfast. Lunch today in the Artesia schools will be the pepperoni pizzas, the tossed salad and carrots, the ranch dressing, and fresh fruit this time. So it's all the time. Pepperoni pizza for lunch today at the Artesia Public Schools. Senior meal site today, baked ham, sweet potatoes, carrots with peppers, pineapple upside down cake. Somebody dropped the cake and it's upside down. Baked ham today at the senior meal site. That sounds wonderful. Senior Center activities today. Creative crafters will be crafting creatively at 9 o'clock. The hand and foot card players will be playing at 10. After lunch, it'll be bingo at 1 o'clock, sewing at 1:30, and then if you want to learn to dance or brush up on your dance skills, there is a dance class this evening at 6:30 at the Artesia Senior Center. There is a dance tomorrow at 7 o'clock. DJ Express will be playing the music for the dance tomorrow night at the Artesia Senior Center. Library today will have Magic, the card-playing game. Magic the Gathering. It's a gameplay at the library, open for all levels of experience. That's going to be today at 3 o'clock. And then tomorrow is the Halloween fun event from 4 until 6 p.m. They'll have their haunted lab, popcorn and candy bar. Come on in costume or without. It's up to you. But that'll be 4 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. 5 to 7 is the Trick or Treat Artesia event. So downtown Artesia tomorrow from about 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock is going to be a pretty busy place. The street's going to be closed off. Main Street's going to be closed off. And everybody, kids, families, all kinds of fun will be going on in downtown Artesia tomorrow night. Birthdays this weekend. Oh, let me check the school calendar first. Hang on just a second. Let me click that button and click that button. We've got Central Dollar Days are today. This is the last day to buy your gas raffle tickets. I wonder if they have any diesel tickets. You want to talk about getting scared out of your wits. I'm watching a clip from Tucker Carlson. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. According to Tucker and some experts, we've got 25 days left of diesel fuel availability. I thought, holy cow. This country moves on diesel fuel. Trains carrying all the crap from China run on diesel fuel. The trucks that take it from the terminals to the stores run on diesel fuel. A lot of the motors and mechanisms and things that power the stuff that we do and use to make things work all run on diesel fuel. Most of your 3/4 ton and 1 ton work vehicles run on diesel fuel. When I saw that, I thought, really? 25 days? That makes no sense. Quarterfinals, state boys and girls soccer playoff is going on today. X-Country District will be at Lovington at 3:30 this afternoon, and the National FFA Convention will continue in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm going to do the birthdays and then take the break.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I just had a comment on the
the diesel. Okay.
Is that because we have to create a cleaner diesel than other countries in the world that are?
I don't think that's it. I think it's a combination of things.
Okay.
This isn't the only biodiesel
Right.
facility that's being built. A number of refiners are adding this capacity across the country without any help from the government.
Right.
They're doing it all on their own. The government's throwing money at people to buy electric cars, but they're not helping in the drilling and refining and transportation of
In our current
conventional
energy
fuels.
production way of life.
We've decided that we're not going to let people drill. We're not going to let people refine. There's been so many rules, regulations, restrictions that have been imposed as far as that's concerned. It's also the time of the year that there's a lot of production that's supposed to be shifted over to making heating oil for the people up in New England and the northern parts of the country that rely on heating oil. So you throw all of those factors together, and some expert group came out and said we've got 25 days of diesel fuel left. How do you run the trains?
Right.
I'm sorry, you buy your iPhone or your Google Pixel phone, it's made in China. Those are diesel engines that power the ships. Okay, so you got to have diesel fuel for the ships to transport your iPhone from China to the West Coast. Those are diesel motors and engines that are used in all the things that get the shipping containers off the ships to put them on the rail cars.
And the trucks.
There's diesel that goes in the train engines that move all of those containers of iPhones and Pixel phones across the country. And then there's diesel that goes into the semi-tractor trucks that then pick up the stuff at the terminals and take it to Amazon warehouses across America. That's diesel fuel that goes in those Amazon trucks that take it across the country. I don't know what we're thinking. There's not enough solar, wind, and coal or power. I mean, there's plenty of coal. There's not enough solar and wind. I read a story. The Biden administration is pushing for the manufacturing of rare earth metals, nickel, stuff like that domestically.
Right.
To get us off of the China connection so that we can make all these batteries. And you've got people that living in the neighborhoods of the mines in Minnesota that are now complaining. So we've got the not in our backyard crowd that's jumped up and said, what do you mean mining here? We don't want any mining here. Well, that's where the nickel is.
Yeah.
You want to have a battery-powered car. You can't buy a gas-powered car in a few years. We're going to have the nickel. We're going to have I didn't think that meant that we were going to have to mine here. That's just terrible for the earth, and we're going to ruin the environment and ruin there. Well, we got to get the nickel from somewhere.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and one place is just across the mountains.
Yeah.
There's a large deposit of rare earth elements.
I know.
But a river ran through there in the 1800s. So we're not allowed to.
Well, I mean, you don't want to dirty up the place. Obviously, we're a lot more advanced in our technology and how to extract it nowadays. But on one hand, you can't say kill the oil industry and drive electric cars, but not allow us to get the nickel to use in the batteries to drive the electric cars. It's one or the other, dude.
Yeah.
Why not do all? Anyway, I think it's a combination
Sitting
of
on
all
the
those
largest
different
oil
factors.
deposits in the world in the Permian Basin.
I know. It's just we're insane. There should be, anyway. We'll have more time to talk about this. Birthdays today. Cecilia Morales is having a birthday today. Joel Ochoa has a birthday today. Ramona Ortiz. Gene Binkley has a birthday today, and Joy Haynes are all celebrating birthdays today. Cecilia, Joel, Ramona, Gene, and Joy. Tomorrow, Sandy, Betty, Jesus Beltran, Anna Angulo. I know I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. Ginger Reedy. Angulo? Angulo. Maybe that's Angulo. And Ginger Reedy. So Sandy, Jesus, Anna, and Ginger on Saturday. And Sunday, Fred Flores and Mary Sanchez. So Fred and Mary have a birthday on Sunday. Sandy, Jesus, Anna, and Ginger tomorrow. Cecilia, Joel, Ramona, Jean, and Joy have birthdays today. Does that make sense what Jeffrey and I were saying? I mean, we're nuts. We're actually totally, completely crazy nuts in this country now. We're letting... We grew up a whole generation of kids telling them that we needed Captain Planet to come and save us from all the evil oil and gas and nuclear people. They grew up, they went to college, they became professors, they became teachers, they continued to promote this crap over and over and over and over again. Then those kids graduate, then they get into politics, they get into, I mean, the politicians you see on TV ain't running Washington. It's the 20-somethings and the 30-somethings that are running around writing all the policy. They have all this infested in their brains. We need to go green. And then you got a mush head in the White House that has no concept of reality. He's just happy to be there and be the president and drive his car over 100 miles an hour for Jay Leno. And so here we are. We have policies in place in this country that are absolutely nuts. Russia invades Ukraine. We cut off all of our Russian imports. Fine. We should have been building refineries, drilling oil, cranking up oil production, cranking up natural gas production. The president says things like, we're going to make sure plenty of natural gas gets to Europe so that they have plenty of heat for their people while they're chopping down forests in Germany because they've turned off all of their nuclear plants and cut off all their oil from Russia. Meanwhile, we got people in this country that are looking at having to spend over $5,000 on heating fuel this year, which is way above what they normally pay. We got the Permian Basin out here, and we're worried about air quality concerns out here. We're not doing any drilling. We claim we've turned a bunch of oil leases out on federal land, but then we can't drill anywhere because, you know, the snail or the bug or the fly darter or the chicken or whatever it is. We're nuts. We're absolutely, totally, completely idiot nuts in this country. And maybe there's something that we can all do about it on November 8th. Maybe we can turn some of these idiots out. We have that kind of policy in this state. We're going to clean the air over New Mexico. Well, don't they know that Arizona blows and Texas sucks? All the crap from California and Arizona is going to be sucked over the air of New Mexico, regardless of whether we clean our air up or not. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm done. I'm going to drink a cup of coffee. That ought to calm me down. We'll be back in just a minute.
Community safety matters. I'm Yvette Harrell.
Yvette Harrell and her Great Dane Reba are traveling across New Mexico to meet with us.
Reba looks out for my house, just like our police make our families feel secure in their homes. With a tough economy and crime on the rise, we have to look out for our neighbors and our neighborhood protectors.
From Albuquerque to Las Cruces, we're seeing record highs in violent crime. But radical liberal Gabe Vasquez says he wants to defund and deconstruct law enforcement when we need them even more. Yvette Harrell knows better. She's fighting for common sense solutions to make your family safe again.
So I'm working to fund our law enforcement and crack down on criminals who harm police. I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message because your family's safety deserves a watchdog.
Yvette Harrell for Congress. Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 3 Michael Kors designer purses, pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With new inventory arriving daily and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 29th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
In volatile times, it's natural to worry about your retirement.
Hon, I'm worried about our retirement account.
With today's economy, it just makes sense to keep your retirement money close to home with people you know. We have several guaranteed safe options. Peace of mind with retirement savings. It just makes sense. Western Bank of Artesia. Member FDIC. It just makes sense.
Can you believe what environmental extremist Gabe Vasquez said about New Mexico's oil and gas industry? He actually said,
"Shut it all down. Let's just get rid of it immediately."
Shut it all down? Really? I guess Gabe Vasquez doesn't care that taxes on oil and gas provide over half of the money for our public schools. Our oil and gas industry provides over 60,000 jobs in New Mexico and has sent billions of dollars directly to the Children's Permanent Education Fund, so our public schools are always funded. Gabe Vasquez wants to, quote, shut it all down and break that promise. Vasquez would destroy our economy, bankrupt businesses, kill thousands of jobs, and fail our kids. Gabe Vasquez in Congress? Absolutely no way. Let's shut Vasquez down instead. Say no to Gabe Vasquez and his radical agenda and protect our jobs and schools. Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Our Values PAC.
Devon Energy is proud to support Artesia High School athletic programs. By partnering with Artesia, we're making an investment in the long-term future of our community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership, skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From our team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Bulldogs from Devon Energy.
Republicans and Democrats are pulling together to elect District Judge Eileen Reardon. Why? 32 years of legal experience, over 25 years experience in water law, including the Pecos River, Capitan Basin, the Ogallala Aquifer, and the Carlsbad Irrigation District. She was born and raised and educated right here in New Mexico, graduated from NMSU and UNM Law School. Vote for 5th District Court Judge Eileen Reardon, Division I, Eddie Lee and Chavez County. Paid for by the committee to elect Judge Reardon. Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
It's Chevy truck season at Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. The Chevy Silverado is as durable as it is dependable with its proven power and capability along with advanced technology. And this month you can make it your own with a $1,000 accessory allowance when you purchase or lease a Silverado 1500 or HD. So come on in and see us today at Guy Chevrolet Company on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia or at GuyChevy.com.
Making a great deal better every day.
Incredible Printing is begging you, please don't vote for Michelle Lujan Grisham. We're already last in everything. Don't vote for Michelle Lujan Grisham, please. This announcement paid for by Incredible Printing.
I'm Georgia Haynes, and I approve this message.
I mean, we're nuts, defund the police. Let 2 million people just come in from other countries and flood our countries and our border states and our counties. Nancy Pelosi, this is a big breaking news. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, sitting at home there in San Francisco, and there was a home invasion, and he was violently assaulted. According to Pelosi's spokesperson, Drew Hamill, early this morning, an assailant broke into the Pelosi residence in San Francisco and violently assaulted Mr. Pelosi. The assailant is in custody, and the motivation for the attack is under investigation. Mr. Pelosi was taken to the hospital where he is receiving excellent medical care and is expected to make a full recovery, according to Hamill. Now, how long do you think it'll take before Trump is the reason to blame for this attack on Paul Pelosi? Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. He walked into that Twitter headquarters the other day with a sink, and his tweet was, let this sink in. I'm taking over. He immediately changed his title on his Twitter page to Chief Twit and fired the top 3 executives at Twitter: CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Siegel, and Head of Legal Policy, Trust and Safety, Vijaya Getty, They were all fired after Musk accused them of misleading him and investors over the number of fake accounts on the platform. Brian Stelter retweeted a post from Musk in April asking if Twitter was a dying platform. Stelter wrote, "What a long, strange trip it's been." Several others upset at the news. Mike Masnick, Tech Dirt writer, has a different opinion about the firing of Gaddy. People do not realize how much VJ did for free speech. Twitter is less of a free speech platform without her. Well, that's BS. Twitter has not been a free speech platform for many, many years. You don't ban a sitting president of the United States from what is supposedly an open forum town hall platform. But they did. Co-host of Breaking Point's Sanger Entg posted emoji hands waving bye while retweeting a post of his from April where he had written that Vijaya Gaddy, the top censorship advocate at Twitter, who famously gaslit the world on Joe Rogan's podcast and censored the Hunter Biden laptop story, is very upset about the Elon Musk takeover. So we'll see what happens with that. Rumors are that he's going to let go 3/4 of the staff. And if you're not spending every day censoring every word and every thought from every conservative and every Republican, you probably don't need 75% of the people there. You probably need some code writers and people to manage the servers. That's about all you need there to handle all of that. And some salespeople, ad salespeople to handle the sales of the ads from the advertisers. I saw an article, I think like 99.9% of Twitter's revenue is from advertising because it doesn't cost anything for people to be a part of Twitter. So, and I guess the other thing that's kind of popping around on the news headline, Joe Biden told some whoppers yesterday at a speech that he gave. He told the world that gas was over $5 a gallon when he took office and that he quit the football team, of which he was a starter, when he met his first wife, which contradicts what Biden wrote in his own memoir, which said he quit the football team because his grades were bad at the insistence of his dad. And after that happened, then he met his first wife and all that, and which he wrote in his own memoir. But apparently in the mush for brains that's in his head right now, he thinks he played for the football team, led them to victory, and then had to quit because he had met his first wife. And gas was over $5 a gallon when he took office. No, gas is over $5 a gallon more than when you took office, or at least it hit that point earlier this year. All right, let's see what Jared's dug up. We've got our Eddy County Sports Report. I'm sure Eric will have some volleyball scores. We'll dig into that in the next segment. And Kim Commando's Tech Tip for Friday. It's all next.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The City of Roswell's annual water, sewer, and sanitation rate adjustments, as established by city ordinances, are scheduled to begin appearing on customers' bills next month. The annual adjustments, which are established in city ordinance in 2013 for water and sewer and 2020 for sanitation, are made to these rates to ensure the city has sufficient revenue to take care of the system maintenance that's needed. This year's water and sewer adjustment is a combined increase of 4.1%, while the sanitation adjustment is an increase of about 14.6%. The Biden administration's approval of oil leases in a corner of New Mexico that's become a battleground over increased development and preservation of Native American sites has prompted a legal challenge. Environmental groups are now suing the BLM and U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland. They contend in a complaint filed Wednesday that the federal government is going back on its word by clearing the way for oil and gas development on federal lands near Chaco Culture National Historical Park. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
What's in a name? A reputation to bring you service and quality. What's in a name?
At Lowell's Pharmacy, we're ready with your flu shot. Flu shots prevent millions of illnesses and flu-related doctor's visits every year. Getting the flu shot has been shown to reduce the risk of having to go to the doctor with flu by 40 to 60%. So take time to visit Lowell's Pharmacy in Artesia and get your flu shot.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. It's the final weekend of the regular season for high school football for most classes, and that includes Carlsbad tonight at home against Hobbs. Carlsbad 5-4 overall, 3-1 district. So is Hobbs, 3-1 in district. Both teams, the only loss in district play has been to Centennial. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight at Carlsbad. Also tonight, Loving will be playing at Hagerman. Loving started out 6-0, but have lost their last three, and they haven't been close. The Falcons hoping to finish the regular slate with a victory against the Bobcats. And Artesia on the road tomorrow at Mayfield. That starts at noon. Artesia has wrapped up the district. Mayfield 0-2, but always dangerous. Volleyball scores from last night. Artesia sweeps Lovington by a 3-0 count. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio, AM 990.
Back in April, before his takeover bid, Elon Musk publicly asked the question, is Twitter dying? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Now's your chance to save big on a customizable home security system. Get 40% off today at simplysafekim.com. In the past 18 months, many of Twitter's most active users, known inside Twitter as heavy tweeters, have ghosted their accounts. Heavy tweeters include celebrities and politicians. They account for less than 10% of monthly users, but they generate 90% of all tweets and 50% of Twitter's global revenue. So-called not safe for work content, especially porn, has become the highest growing topic among English-speaking heavy tweeters, which caused CNBC to ask if Twitter is morphing into a glorified porn outlet, which prompted Elon Musk to tweet, "The reason I acquired Twitter is because it's important for the future of civilization to have a common digital town square." Follow me on Twitter at Kim Commando. Data breaches are at an all-time high as cyber criminals find new ways to hack into email accounts and steal personal information. That's why I use StartMail. StartMail is a secure email provider that protects my privacy. Every email can be encrypted or protected with a password, which means hackers and big tech can't read, scan, analyze, or sell my personal information. And when you delete an email, it's gone forever. StartMail is backed by the world's most robust privacy laws. In fact, StartMail uses their own servers, not Amazon's. Plus, if you're ever required to provide an email but want to protect your identity, StartMail can generate unlimited disposable email addresses that can be deleted at any time. Switching is easier than ever. Transfer all your emails and contacts with just a few clicks. Say goodbye to big tech email providers for good. Start securing your email privacy with StartMail today and get 50% off your first year. Go to startmail.com/Kim. That's startmail.com/Kim.
Turpinning and Son Mortuary of Artesia presents a listing of today's obituaries. Funeral services are scheduled for 9:30 a.m. Tuesday, November 1st at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church for San Juanita Janie Olivas of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Miss Olivas passed away at UNM Hospital in Albuquerque on October 22nd at the age of 55. Father Vijay and Deacon Richard will officiate the services. Burial will follow the services at Woodbine Cemetery. Janie was born in May 1967 in Odessa, Texas. She was a member of Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church. She was preceded to death by her parents, a daughter, Abigail Calderon, brothers Pablo Olivas Jr., Frank Muniz, sisters Candy Molina, Olga Olivas, and Guadalupe Salazar. Survivors include a daughter, Mercedes Gonzalez, son-in-law, Ricky Gonzalez, 3 grandchildren, caregiver of 7 years, Arcelia Gonzalez, brothers and sisters, Pete Muniz of Odessa, Texas, Mary Gabaldon of Artesia, and husband Alfredo, Manuel Olivas of Roswell, Joe Olivas of Artesia, Jesse Olivas and wife Debbie of Artesia, Luis Olivas and wife Sandra of Belton, Texas, and Sylvia Flores and husband Ramiro of Artesia. Once again, funeral services are set for 9:30 a.m. Tuesday at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church for San Juanita Janie Olivas, who passed away October 22nd in Albuquerque at the age of 55. Burial will follow the services at Woodbine Cemetery. And this reminder that funeral services will be held at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church in Artesia today for Jimmy M. Olguin, who passed away on October 21st at the age of 74. Rosary service will be held at 9:30 a.m. with funeral service at 10 a.m. and burial following at Woodbine Cemetery. That, again, is today for Jimmy M. Olguin, who passed away October 21st at the age of 74. This listing has been presented as a service of Turpinning & Son Mortuary of Artesia, where we make it personal. Well, the weekend is almost here. We're hours away. Steve-O, what kind of forecast can we expect for the weekend?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We had that cold front move through yesterday, and now we have high pressure back over our area, so things look good. It'll be cool today with our afternoon high staying at around 60, and it could be very windy with gusts of 25 to 45 miles per hour. Watch out for some blowing dust. Overnight, partly cloudy, and our low in the upper 30s. Upper 60s and sunny on Saturday and not as windy, fair Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Still kind of breezy and on the chilly side out of doors here in Artesia, New Mexico. 47 degrees at this hour. Our humidity is at 68%. The dew point is 37. Winds are north at 18, pressures at 30.20 and edging upward. Our air quality is 47. We have good air quality. High yesterday was 73. The overnight low was 39. 1 year ago, 72 and 33. So maybe the global warming thing is not quite fixed. Minimum 4-inch soil temps are around 53 degrees. No official rainfall total at the Ag Science Center. 5/100ths of an inch at the rain gauge here in town. Don't know what that does for the year since they didn't get any official rainfall. Looks like the winds are going to be hanging around till around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then the clouds will give way and the sun will break out, and we should have a pleasant rest of the evening here in Artesia. Around the region, breezy and 48 in Carlsbad, 46 in Roswell. They've got a football game tonight at the Bowl of Wool, and it'll be clear and 56 at kickoff tonight. Roswell and Goddard at the Bowl of Wool. Breezy and 46 in Hobbs. Sunny and 32 in Albuquerque. 29 in Santa Fe. Partly cloudy, 31 in Cloudcroft. 33 in Ruidoso. Sunny and 41 in Las Cruces. Still real chilly in Farmington. 22. 18 at Red River this hour. Breezy and 44 in Clovis, and in West Texas at this hour, rain and 48 in Lubbock, sunny and 40 in El Paso, and again, breezy and 47 degrees here in Artesia. Well, let's see what news and manipulation going on. Is it going to affect the markets today on the Wall Street Business Report?
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street delivered another mixed finish for stocks Thursday as disappointing quarterly results from several big tech companies offset gains elsewhere in the market. The U.S. economy grew at a 2.6% annual rate from July through September, snapping 2 straight quarters of contraction and overcoming high inflation and interest rates just as voting begins in midterm elections, in which the economy's health is a major concern. Businesses are increasingly worried about the renewed threat of a railroad strike after 2 unions rejected their deals, and they want President Biden and Congress to be ready to intervene. A coalition of 322 business groups from a variety of industries signed off on a letter to President Biden Thursday, urging him to make sure the deals he helped to broker last month get approved, because a railroad strike would have dire consequences for the economy. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
This is Eddy County Sheriff Mark Cage. Governor Lujan Grisham is lying to you about a murder. I know the truth because my deputies slapped the cuffs on that coward. The governor twice released Chris Beltran from prison early. 4 days later, he murdered Monique Gonzalez. Now the governor is lying to cover it up. Here's what KOB really said about using them in an ad defending the governor.
This ad clearly misrepresents our original reporting.
Because it's a lie. And here's Monique's grandma.
Her life didn't matter. The governor absolutely should be held accountable for his early release and feel ashamed.
The governor has reduced the prison population by 26%. and release hundreds of criminals early along their way. Unfortunately, Monique lost her life because of it. I'm Sheriff Mark Cage, and that's the truth.
Paid for by Mark Ronchetti for governor.
I'm Mark Ronchetti, and I approve this message.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Time is running out this chili season. With just a few weeks left, you've got to get to Graves Farm and Garden. Great healthy green chili from mild to extra hot. By the bushel or half bushel and roasted on site. But that's not all. They've also got 1, 2, and 3 foot ristras, dried red chili, and of course, onions, squash, zucchini, cantaloupes, honeydew melons, cucumbers, and even locally grown apples for cooking and eating. Plus firewood, alfalfa, and more. Just 7.5 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway. Follow the signs to Graves Farm and Garden, where locally owned means locally grown. Prepare for the scare. The city of Roswell presents Night of the Living Zoo, October 28th and 29th at the Spring River Zoo, with spooktastic fun for the whole family, including carnival games, a bouncing castle, carousel, and of course, trick-or-treating with lots of candy. Wear your Halloween costumes and prepare for the affair of the spooky season. Admission is only $5. Kids 3 and under are free. Get tickets and more info at roswell-connect.com. Night of the Living Zoo, October 28th and 29th at the Spring River Zoo in Roswell. See you there.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham, presented by the Coalition of Christians for Biblical Creation and Steve and Cindy Anderson of Napa Auto Parts in Artesia. CCBC is an interdenominational coalition of Christians from Artesia who believe that the account of origins presented in Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Steve and Cindy Anderson of Napa Auto Parts, proudly serving all of your automotive needs, individual and commercial, with quality Napa parts. Now, today's Answers with Ken Ham.
Our biggest problem solved. This is Ken Ham, CEO of Answers in Genesis, the Creation Museum, and Ark Encounter. What's the world's biggest problem? You might think it's the looming economic crisis, ongoing wars, or diseases, but those aren't our biggest problems. You see, we all have the same ultimate problem, sin and death. Scripture makes it clear we're all sinners, deserving death. Actually, it's because of sin that death and suffering exist in our world. But the good news? God has solved our biggest problem. Jesus came and lived the perfect life we could never live and then died in our place, taking our sin debt on himself. His death paid our penalty, and then he rose again. Now everyone who puts their faith in Christ has their biggest problem solved forever.
The gospel is good news for everyone. Discover the truth that Jesus came, lived, died for us, and rose again when you visit us at AnswersRadio.com. That's AnswersRadio.com.
Hey, thanks to Sylvia and the crew at McDonald's for our breakfast today. I had my sausage McMuffin with egg and hash browns. What did you grab, Jeffrey? I didn't see what you had for breakfast this morning, and saw Lana was in the building earlier observing the broadcast from the lobby, or entryway, I guess would be the proper. We don't really have a lobby here, do we? What did you have for breakfast, Lana? Anyway, and this is the best coffee deal here in town. This cup of coffee that you can get from your friendly neighborhood McDonald's. So the McRib, you've probably read the stories, heard the news. The McRib apparently is on its farewell tour.
I had one on Monday night.
Yeah.
After the Monday Night Football.
Speaking of Monday Night Football, Monday Night Football will not be on Monday night.
That right. I wondered if they were all going to be wearing their Halloween costumes while they were playing.
Yeah, they're going as football players. No, Monday Night Football will be on Tuesday night.
Yes.
Yeah, same time, 6:30 and 7:30, 2 games. You got the Kraken, you got the Tigers, you got the Future Bulldogs, you got the Young Guns.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the matchups will be.
Neither am I.
But they'll be playing Tuesday night at 6:30.
Yes.
So I'm glad you reminded me so that I could remind them.
Right.
And Louie's going to do the broadcast.
Louie.
He'll probably tell stories of the Dolphins and all that kind of stuff, and people will be watching and going, "Well, tell us what's happening on the on the game in front of you there." But because Joby's not going to be with him,
right,
and you're not going to be with him,
right. Joby and I will be a few miles at the pit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I guess a couple miles.
It's 2.35.
Gotcha. Well, it's Pack the Pit night. Goddard's in town for volleyball, so you and Bradley and Joby and Robbie will be at the pit.
And Matthew.
Have we reached out to Matthew?
I will.
Okay. And but I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
And then I will be in the basket truck 15 feet in the air running camera for Louie on Monday night.
You know, I'm so sorry that I'm not allowed to go up in that.
It'd be kind of fun. I want the crane shot. I want the shot that looks like a crane shot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, that did look really good when Bradley, once he got a hang of running the lift with the camera at the same time, he got some really good shots.
Got some great shots. Speaking of volleyball, Goddard won last night. They went up to Portales, 3-game sweep at Portales. It was 27-25, 25-20, 25-21. Portales, you remember, on Tuesday night ran Artesia to 5 sets.
Yep.
Before Artesia finally won that one. So Portales is playing tough. Lovington toyed with Artesia, or maybe Artesia toyed with Lovington for a little bit, but put them away. 25-14, 25-22.
Oh, yeah.
What happened here? I didn't hit that button. I am so... These apps really irritate the daylights out of me.
A lot of apps need to make adjustments for fat thumbs because I
don't think that was it. I think they just are mad at me because I block all the ads.
Oh, yeah.
25-14, 25-22, 25-14.
Okay.
So, with 2 district games left in the volleyball season, Goddard is 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Artesia is 3-1. Their only loss at Goddard. Portales is 1-3. Their only win over Lovington.
Right.
Lovington is 0-4.
Yeah.
So that's where volleyball stands right now.
Coach Llewellyn, the volleyball team was out at Heirloom Acres when I was out there with Catalyst Church, and she said, make sure everyone is at the Goddard game.
That's right.
She said, we need everyone there.
The only people that will be at Monday Night Football on Tuesday night will be the coaches, the cheerleaders, the players, Louie, and me.
Yeah.
There will be no parents there because they're all going to be at the pit, filling up the pit. Let's get 3,000 people in the pit for Goddard Artesia volleyball.
Which, and this way, since we do what we do, they can watch it afterwards. They can watch the game and and that's a lot like last Monday. There was a very small crowd. Everyone.
Weather was so bad.
Yeah. There was a lot of cars parked just outside, cars running, people in the heat. So and the kids still play just as well as they always do.
Yeah.
So it's parents.
Yeah.
Everyone can get to the pit and watch the.
Let's get 3,000 people in the pit.
Let's really pack the pit.
Let's pack the pit Tuesday night for Goddard, and then the final district game, regular season, will be Thursday when Portales comes to town, and then Goddard will finish up with Lovington next Thursday. So that's how the volleyball is going on. There is some state playoff soccer that's going to be taking place this weekend. Specifically, Goddard boys are going to be taking on St. Pius at, I think it's 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon at the Cielo Grande Soccer Complex. That will be on KSVPTV.com Saturday afternoon. And I think the Lovington girls, I forget, there's a Lovington team that's number 1.
Okay.
Or a top 4 seed, and I think they're number 1, and they're going to be hosting a playoff game on Saturday as well. So, okay, Well, shall we go to the news?
That's what I was thinking.
And library chat coming up in the next segment, and more of whatever this is that we do. Gripe about things and laugh. Is that what we do? Gripe and laugh and gripe, and eat. Eat McDonald's, gripe and laugh. So more gripe and laughing and eating and drinking coffee in the next hour.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband Paul is hospitalized after being violently assaulted by someone who broke into the couple's San Francisco home early today. That, according to a Pelosi spokesman. The suspect is in custody. The spokesman says that Paul Pelosi expected to make a full recovery. House cleaning time at Twitter after completing his $44 billion purchase of the social media platform. Elon Musk promptly fired the Twitter CEO.
Parag Agrawal is the chief executive of Twitter, but he fell out with Elon Musk in April. He just didn't think that Parag Agrawal got it and was the right leader for the platform. So it's not totally surprising that Parag Agrawal is going to be kicked out of Twitter. Very much expected, but it does show a complete culture shift in Twitter.
The BBC's James Clayton says a Twitter chief financial officer and its chief counsel have also been shown the door. Deadly house fire in Oklahoma, maybe a case of foul play.
Police in Broken Arrow, just outside Tulsa, say 8 people were found dead in suspected homicides after a fire was extinguished at a house. Police say the fire and deaths are being investigated as homicides, but don't think there is an immediate threat to the public.
Correspondent Norman Hall. North Korea launching 2 more ballistic missiles, according to South Korea. The first missile test in a couple of weeks comes amid warnings from the U.S., warning the North against using nuclear weapons, saying that would be the end of the road for the regime in Pyongyang. Key inflation barometer, the Fed keeps a close eye on it, remained painfully high last month. The Commerce Department reports prices rose 6.2% in September from 12 months earlier. Watching Wall Street, the Dow's up 412 points, and NASDAQ ahead 67 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
President Biden traveled to central New York the other day, highlighting a major microchip investment.
During a visit to Syracuse, the president showcased an investment by one of the largest microchip manufacturers in the world. Micron has committed to investing $100 billion over 20 years.
It's the largest American investment of its kind ever in our history.
The announcement fits the president's recent emphasis on the economy, an issue where Americans give him low marks. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Japanese Prime Minister Kishida's government has approved a hefty economic package that will include government funding of about $200 billion to soften the burden of costs from rising utility rates and food prices. Inflation has been on the rise in Japan, along with globally surging prices. A weakening of the yen against the dollar has amplified costs for imports. News and analysis at townhall.com. Yet another attack on a renowned work of art.
Climate extremists have targeted Johannes Vermeer's masterpiece Girl with a Pearl Earring with glue and liquid. But one of the world's most iconic paintings was not damaged in the latest of such publicity-seeking stunts. A video posted on Twitter showed one man pouring a can of red substance over another protester who appeared to attempt to glue his head to the glass-protected painting. The second man stuck his hand to the panel holding the centuries-old painting. Climate extremists had also tried to deface a masterpiece by Vincent van Gogh. Keith Peters reporting.
Hawaii officials warning residents of the Big Island that the world's largest active volcano, Mauna Loa, is sending out signals it may be preparing to blow its top. Researchers say an eruption not imminent, but they are on the alert because of a recent spike in earthquakes at the volcano's summit. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Francine Guerrero. Francine works at Holly Asphalt, and Sunday is Francine's birthday. Happy birthday! We hope you have a wonderful day. And this is from the Blue-Eyed Troll. Today, Francine, you're going to receive a flower from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Francine Guerrero.
Mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Can't you see I'm wide and nerdy? Look at me, I'm wide and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. I'm just too wide and nerdy. Really, really wide and nerdy. Class here at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion of D&D. MC Escher, that's my...
Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Artesia, New Mexico, USA. Hour number 2, Friday, October 28th, the 8 o'clock hour here in New Mexico. Glad you could join us here today. Coming up this hour, we'll have our library chat with Valerie from the Artesia Public Library.
Calculus just for fun. I ain't got a gap, but I got a soldering gun. Happy Days is my favorite theme song. Like a church, kick your butt in a game of ping pong. I'll ace any trivia quiz you bring.
Let's see. Let me copy that. It looks like they're having a crisis in Roswell, in the Roswell office.
Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Can't you see I'm wide and nerdy? Look at me.
So I'll tap that. I'll click paste. I'll hit send. There we go. Got that taken care of. Anyway, we've got a busy weekend coming up here. We'll have Valerie in the library and the Trick or Treat Artesia and all that fun stuff is going to be taking place tomorrow here in downtown Artesia, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Next weekend is going to be the Balloons and Tunes weekend, and I've got a PA system down the hall. We're going to get our hot air balloon playlist of music ready to go, so we're going to be part of the tunes next Saturday and Sunday morning at the liftoffs, 6 a.m. on Saturday, 7 a.m. on Sunday. And then next Saturday night, not tomorrow night, but next Saturday night, there's going to be a balloon glow with the band and the balloonists and everything out at the Heirloom Acres next Saturday. So we're looking forward to that next weekend. Football, we've got Goddard Roswell tonight. Roswell's the home team. They're playing at the Bowl of Wool in Roswell, New Mexico tonight. 7 o'clock kickoff. Roswell High is the number 2 ranked team in the state according to the Maxim Prepsums, and the Goddard Rockets are the number 4 team in the state in the Max Preps rankings right now. So that's a pretty big game. Artesia 2-0. Has locked up the district title. There's nothing that can happen that would change that. In that Artesia's beaten both Roswell and Goddard. So if Roswell wins tonight and is 2-1, Artesia, if they've lost tomorrow, would be 2-1. But Artesia beat Roswell, so Artesia is going to be the district champ. Artesia is ranked number 1 in the state. Roswell number 2 according to the Max Preps. Piedra Vista at number 3, and then Roswell or Goddard High is at number 4. Mayfield, the team we're playing tomorrow in Las Cruces, is number 5, and then you've got Deming, Valley, Gadsden, Mayamera, Santa Teresa, Highland, and Los Alamos make up the top 12. And Sunday, either Saturday night or Sunday, will be selection day for the 5A football playoffs, and we'll find out if the NMAA concurs with Max Preps. Of course, they've got the coaches poll, and they've got their other criteria points that they go by. They don't go by just Max Preps. They have their own criteria points that they go by. So it's going to be interesting to see. If Roswell wins tonight, I don't think the top 4 changes. I think PV will probably win their game tonight. They'll be 9-1. Artesia, if they win tomorrow, would be 8-2. Roswell, if they win, would be 8-2. And Goddard, if they lost, would be 6-4. Mayfield, when they lose to Artesia, would be 4-6. So again, if Roswell wins tonight, I don't see the top 4 changing at all. I don't see Mayfield going down. Maybe they drop below Deming. If Deming wins this weekend, Deming would be 6-4, and they might move Deming up a spot. But if Goddard pulls off the upset tonight, that would be interesting. I say the upset, they're ranked lower than Roswell. Probably not the right term to use. But if Goddard wins tonight, does it really change the top 4? Would Roswell stay at number 2? Or would PV move up to number 2 at 8? If, say, PV wins and Goddard wins, would PV at 9-1, would they move up to number 2? And then Roswell fall to number 3, or would Roswell and Goddard flip, and it would be Artesia 1, PV 2, Goddard 3, and Roswell 4? Again, I don't see any one of these 3 teams falling outside the top 4, regardless of what happens this weekend, which means that all 3 teams would have an open date next week and not play a game and wait for the round of 12 to take place to see who they would host in an opening round game. So you could have next weekend, you could have Goddard hosting a game, Roswell hosting a game, and then NMMI Broncos. The team they're scheduled to play next Saturday canceled their football program, and they've picked up a prep school somewhere that's going to come to Roswell and play them. So Roswell, the NMMI Broncos have a game to play on Saturday as well, next Saturday. So it should be open date for Roswell and Goddard, and then the following weekend would be one of them would play Friday night, one would play Saturday, or they both would play on Saturday, depending on who they play and the distance they have to travel. So it'll be like I said, I don't really see anybody in our district here in the Valley. Mayfield, of course, is already outside the top 4, but I don't see Goddard, Roswell, or Artesia dropping out of the top 4, regardless of what happens tonight in Roswell or tomorrow in Las Cruces. The only thing that might change would be the order of the top 4. If Roswell wins tonight over Goddard, then I don't think the top 4 changes in the max preps. I think it's Artesia, Roswell, PV, Goddard. If Goddard wins, I could see PV sliding up to number 2, and then Goddard 3, Roswell 4. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out after this weekend's activities. Tonight on 106.5 FM, it'll be Art and Kelly and the Roswell perspective, the home team perspective. Start about 6:45 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff. On 106.1 at 6:45, it'll be the Goddard perspective with the Chris's, Chris Deck and Chris Roybal. Get my Chris's mixed up. And the video, if you go to KSVPTV.com or KSVP TV on YouTube, you will see the video, and you'll have 2 video streams going, one with the Goddard announcers and one with the Roswell announcers. So you can switch back and forth, or you can pick the Roswell guys or pick the Goddard guys, whichever way you want to go. And that'll be on the TV and on the radio tonight. So 106.5 will have the Roswell announcers. 106.1 will have the Goddard announcers. And then it's the same thing on the TV and the YouTubes and all that. Tomorrow, Joby, Robbie, Jeff, Bradley, Gene will all be in Las Cruces, New Mexico. 11:30 pregame, 12 noon kickoff from the Field of Dreams in Las Cruces. We'll have our cameras, we'll have our microphones, our headsets, our computers, all of our radio and video gear, and we'll have a radio and TV broadcast from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Again, 11:30 pregame, 12 noon kickoff. We have a very special Fan of the Week interview for halftime, and so we hope you get a chance to listen to that, watch that as well. And that'll be at halftime, of course, of the Artesia at Las Cruces football game tomorrow afternoon. And then late afternoon, Texas Tech is hosting Baylor. Big 12 game tomorrow evening, pregame, and that'll be on KSVP, radio only. We don't get to do the video. 4:30 pregame, 5:30 kickoff Saturday afternoon here on KSVP. It is a weekend. What kind of weather can we expect today, Steve-O?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We had that cold front move through yesterday, and now we have high pressure back over our area, so things look good. It'll be cool today with our afternoon high staying at around 60, and it could be very windy with gusts of 25 to 45 miles per hour. Watch out for some blowing dust. Overnight, partly cloudy, and our low in the upper 30s, upper 60s, and sunny on Saturday, and not as windy, fair Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
I'm simply trying to type the word thanks. And I don't know if it's fat thumbs or adaptive cruise or what's going on with it here, but the word I was trying to type was not getting out. Lana enjoyed the chicken biscuit for her breakfast from McDonald's. Very good. So I was wondering what Lana had picked out of the sack of food from McDonald's, and it was the chicken biscuit, which does sound delicious. Right now we have warmed up a tad. We're at 48 degrees, still kind of breezy out there. Humidity is at 66%. The dew point is 38. Winds are northerly at 18 miles per hour, which means it feels like it's 42 out there. Pressure at 30.21 and rising. Our air quality is 44. We have good air quality. Had a high yesterday of 73, the overnight low 39. 1 year ago, we had a high of 72 and a low of 33. Sunset will be at 6:10 this evening, sunrise at 7:13 in the morning. And it looks like if things go as planned here, by 2 o'clock the winds will die down to a more reasonable speed, and the sun will blast out of the clouds, and we'll have a nice rest of the afternoon today. Carlsbad, breezy and 50, 47 in Roswell, 48 in Hobbs, America. Around New Mexico, sunny and 33 in Albuquerque, 30 in Santa Fe. Partly cloudy, 31 in Cloudcroft, 34 in Ruidoso. In Las Cruces, sunny and 43 for the game tomorrow. It looks like sunshine and 68 for the high in Las Cruces. Sunny and 68 for the high. So it should be really, really nice weather for the football game tomorrow afternoon in Las Cruces. Farmington, sunny and 24-20 at Red River. Breezy and 44 in Clovis, and in West Texas, rain and 48 in Lubbock. Sunny and 42 in El Paso. Again, we've got the breezes, 48 degrees in Artesia. All right, we're going to check in with Valerie, see if everything's ready to go for the Halloween fun event tomorrow at the library. That's coming up next.
Community safety matters. I'm Yvette Harrell.
Yvette Harrell and her Great Dane Reba are traveling across New Mexico to meet with us.
Reba looks out for my house, just like our police make our families feel secure in their homes. With a tough economy and crime on the rise, we have to look out for our neighbors and our neighborhood protectors.
From Albuquerque to Las Cruces, we're seeing record highs in violent crime. But radical liberal Gabe Vasquez says he wants to defund and deconstruct law enforcement when we need them even more. Yvette Harrell knows better. She's fighting for common sense solutions to make your family safe again.
So I'm working to fund our law enforcement and crack down on criminals who harm police. I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message because your family's safety deserves a watchdog.
Yvette Harrell for Congress. Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
I'm here with Freddie Sosa, sales manager at Richland Motors. I heard that supply numbers are changing. What do you think, Freddie?
Well, Mike, I could talk about the 70 used cars and the 30 new cars that we have on our lot. But the number I can't get out of my head is 756. That's how many vehicles we have sold so far in 2022. Thank you to Roswell and our surrounding communities in what was supposed to be a pandemic. So on behalf of myself, Travis Hicks, and the rest of the Richland Motors staff, thank you for choosing to ride for our brand, Richland Motors.
See the folks at Richland today, 2601 West 2nd, Roswell.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Hi, I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon. I'm a native New Mexican and I've lived here all my life. I graduated from NMSU and UNM law schools. The law has been my life. I don't make the laws, the legislature does. My job is to apply those laws to the facts without favoritism or political consideration, and I do that well. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th. I'm Eileen Reardon, District Court Judge. Thank you.
Paid for by the Committee-elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon and I approve this message.
It's the Big Savings Produce Sale at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia. Sweet yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $1.97 each. Fresh green asparagus, $2.97 a pound. Super select cucumbers, 2 for $1. And large Hass avocados, just 97 cents each at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia. And right now, Coca-Cola select flavors, 12-pack cans, $4.99 each at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, home-owned and operated for over 50 years, are here for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has the expertise to install residential, commercial, and industrial air conditioning units, including the conversion of evaporative coolers to refrigerated air systems. Cut cooling costs with high-efficiency Carrier units from Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, your authorized Carrier dealer. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a proud sponsor of Artesia Bulldogs and our community for over 50 years.
It's Chevy truck season at Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. The Chevy Silverado is as durable as it is dependable with its proven power and capability along with advanced technology. And this month you can make it your own with a $1,000 accessory allowance when you purchase or lease a Silverado 1500 or HD. So come on in and see us today at Guy Chevrolet Company on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia or at guychevy.com.
Making a great deal better every day.
There are things you can do to improve the value of your current home if you plan to sell, and a few things you probably shouldn't do. The folks at Lois Oliver Real Estate are experts in real estate in Artesia and can help you with some great advice. If you want to talk to a local expert about buying or selling a home in Artesia, visit with any of the agents at Lois Oliver Real Estate. We know Artesia, and we're ready to help you buy or sell or find local experts who can answer your questions. Lois Oliver Real Estate. We love it here. Find us at 210 South Roselawn or online at loisoliverrealestate.com. Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Valerie is here from the Artesia Public Library. Good morning, Valerie. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have the button pushed. Let me try it again. Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning, Gene.
There's a button I have to push to put you on the air, and I had not hit that button yet.
I see.
I have a question for you. I'm filling out a form online, internet. I'm creating an account at a sales webinar site, and it wants me to put my job title. And I didn't want to just be boring and put, general manager. So I thought, Big Kahuna. Do you think that would be offensive if I put Big Kahuna?
Oh, I like that.
Do you like that?
The big cheese?
The big cheese. All right, the big cheese. I'm going to put that in there because I'm going to be curious to see if the registration comes through. if it actually has my title as the Big Cheese.
Oh, that'll be good.
Choose state. I don't see confused on here. But I do see New Mexico, so there's New Mexico. Then they want a work phone number that would require me being working. Let's see, I've read and agreed to the terms. Whoever reads the terms before they say that they've agreed and read the terms? You don't, do you?
I may scan the terms.
Thank you. You have successfully registered for your account is being processed for verification. You will receive an email once that is complete. Okay, so I'll just wait for the email, and then I can go ahead and complete the registration process for this deal that I'm working on. Anyway, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Getting ready for Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween Fun, I believe, is the official name.
Yes, so tomorrow at the library, that's Saturday, we'll be starting at 4 o'clock. We'll be going until 6 o'clock. We have a Halloween Fun event, which is always free and open to the public. And we are coordinating this with all of the other Artesia downtown Halloween activities as well. So you can come to the library and attend our Halloween Fun event and then go downtown and do your Main Street trick-or-treating.
I think Main Street will be closed off to traffic, so you don't have to worry about the masses of the people having to all stick to the sidewalks. You can walk out in the middle of the street if you like.
Oh, I didn't know that, but that's great.
Yeah. Now, I can't speak for the street. Well, of course, when you go out the front of the library, you can walk through the, the drive-through, the bank drive-through exit and the parking lot there. So that ought to be pretty safe for the kids, and they don't have to get out on an actual street.
Yep, I think you just have to cross that one street there. What is it, Quay? That's your street, isn't it?
That's the street we're on. That's right. Yeah. One time we had rain and there was water running down the street, and I told the joke on the air, we may need to build a bridge over the River Quay. Nobody seemed to know what I was talking about. I was really disappointed.
Nobody knew.
So, well, good. Is the haunted lab and the bar all set, or is that going to be put together today?
We've been working hard all week, actually. Last week we started building our haunted laboratory. It's going to be a fun event. We have created a haunted laboratory out of our STEM center. If you will remember, the Kind Ripken Foundation, along with Devon here in our area, they granted us a STEM center, and we will be putting that STEM center to use to create a haunted lab.
A haunted lab, so I guess it's going to be scary?
It will be a little scary. It is kid-friendly, so it's not too scary.
Mm-hmm. Will they be conducting experiments on things?
So we'll have our 3D printer running, and we'll be creating some spooky things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give it all away.
Oh, I know.
And then we've created a scary graveyard using some of our circuitry. You'll have to come and see that.
Okay.
We have engineered a kind of a scary haunted house out of our rock blocks, which is similar to Legos, and we've also created some scary Lego items as well.
Okay.
So basically, we have put to use our snap circuits, our squishy circuits to create some haunted items with glowing eyes.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. And then we have something called Makey Makey. It's a computer board, and you can do some fun things with this computer board and a laptop computer. So We have created a haunted piano that you can come and play the keys with some slime.
That sounds funny. Or fun.
It does sound, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've created some zombie hands and some hypnotic things, again, out of our little bits circuitry items. So we're just showcasing basically what you can do with all of these wonderful kits that we have that belong to our STEM Center.
And the STEM Center is available every Thursday after school, so maybe there'll be some kids in the appropriate age group that'll see what can be done with the Haunted Lab that may inspire them to come down on Thursdays and on just a regular week for STEM after school, or STEAM after school, actually.
Yes, so STEAM after school is every Thursday at 4 o'clock, and it's for kindergarten up through, I would say, 6th grade, and we don't always get something out of the STEM cart, but we do use things out of the STEM cart, and then we do other STEM or STEAM-related activities as well. One thing I didn't mention, or two things I didn't mention, we also have these items. They're called B-Bots, and they go with the STEM Center, and we're going to dress them up as ghosts, and the kids can come and press the buttons and make the robots go.
That'll be a lot of fun.
And then we have another, some other robots. They're called Ozobots, and we will have them running and telling a scary story.
The bots tell the story?
Yes, they do. They act it out.
They act it out, or do they speak?
No, they don't speak, but they do. Well, they make sounds, but they don't, they're not words.
Gotcha. But they'll be acting out some stories.
A story, yes.
A story. Okay. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Have you mentioned the popcorn and candy bar yet? Has that been?
Oh yes. So we will have a popcorn bar with all of the toppings, so you can come and make your own popcorn treat. And then we will have a station for the little kids to color and watch some Halloween cartoons. We want everybody to come in costume if you can. If you do, you can be entered for a door prize based on your age. So, chance of winning a little prize there. We'll have a Halloween cornhole game going on. We will have a ghost balloon pop going on.
Okay.
And we will be making a silly ghost craft for the little kids.
Oh, well, that'll be a lot of fun for the little ones.
So a lot of things to do here at the library.
All from 4 to 6 tomorrow. See, we're going to be coming back from Las Cruces. Football game is tomorrow in Las Cruces, so I don't think we're going to be back in time for all of this, unfortunately. But I bet there's going to be a big crowd that starts out at the library and then heads downtown for the Trick or Treat Artesia tomorrow night. That'll be great.
Yes, we are expecting a large crowd, so come early, come in the middle, come late. Just come.
just be there and do that.
Yes.
I don't know that you have anything officially to do with this, but I did see where there's going to be the National Drug Take-Back folks are going to be at the library tomorrow earlier in the day.
Yes, I believe they do that collection just outside the library doors there, but yes, if you need to get rid of some of those items that you no longer need,
yep.
We are the place.
That's right. I was trying to find the sheet. I thought I had it here. That's that. I was just looking through because here it is. Yep. 10 to 2 is what they're saying on their flyer for the DEA National Drug Take Back. So they'll be at the library tomorrow, 10 until 2. But they're usually in the parking lot. Is that what you said?
I think they're just right outside our doors here. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Well, that's great. Well, what else is going on at the library that we want to talk about, or is that the main?
That is the main event coming up, but we'll be back to our regular programming next week with story time and STEAM after school. We do still have our learning lounge if you need a little help with computers or phones or whatnot. And then we do have our Dungeons and Dragons and our Magic card play. So our regular programming is going on, 2 book clubs per month. And then, of course, we have lots of new materials that you can come check out.
Now, I wrote down on my note here that the book for the Noon Book Club book for November is The Happiest Man on Earth. Have they picked a Kitchlit book for the month of November?
It is chosen. I just got to look at my cheat sheet.
That's okay, because I want to write it down on here, and then when I get your November calendar, I can add it to my notes.
Yes, it is the Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love.
The Sweet Potato Queen Book
of Love.
Of Love. Okay. Excellent. All right, so we have that written down for November for Kitchlit book, and The Happiest Man on Earth is the book club book for the month of November. So,
correct.
Got that. Excellent. Well, it should be a really, really fun weekend. There's quite a bit going on. I know a lot of kids are going to try to get, families are going to try to get in at the Heirloom Acres before, because this is their final weekend for that event. Then, of course, the Halloween fun at the library and the trick-or-treat Artesia. I don't know if I'd put the drug take-back on the fun list.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. The fall movie night at the Heritage Walkway starts Sunday night, Hocus Pocus 1 and 2.
Oh, fun.
I joked with Candace yesterday. I said, so if you've got a kid that's in trouble and is grounded, make them watch Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. It's just part of their punishment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I got in trouble on that one. There's a couple trunk or treats in town on Monday. Hermosa Church of Christ has one. Catalyst Church has one on Monday night. And so those look like most of the fun things that are going on over the next few days here in Artesia. But don't miss the Halloween fun at the library, 4 to 6 tomorrow.
Yes, come see us at the library. We're open till 6 today, and we'll be open for library services 10 to 2 tomorrow, and then we'll open again 4 to 6 for the Halloween fun.
Very good. Well, Valerie, have a good time tomorrow.
Thanks, Jane.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's see what else Jared's been working on in the newsroom. Eric has a sports update, and Lou Dobbs with his morning market preview.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The City of Roswell's annual water, sewer, and sanitation rate adjustments, as established by city ordinances, are scheduled to begin appearing on customers' bills next month. The annual adjustments, which are established in city ordinance in 2013 for water and sewer and 2020 for sanitation, are made to these rates to ensure the city has sufficient revenue to take care of the system maintenance that's needed. This year's water and sewer adjustment is a combined increase of 4.1%, while the sanitation adjustment is an increase of about 14.6%. The Biden administration's approval of oil leases in a corner of New Mexico that's become a battleground over increased development and preservation of Native American sites has prompted a legal challenge. Environmental groups are now suing the BLM and U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland. They contend in a complaint filed Wednesday that the federal government is going back on its word by clearing the way for oil and gas development on federal lands near Chaco Culture National Historical Park. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. It's the final weekend of the regular season for high school football for most classes, and that includes Carlsbad tonight at home against Hobbs. Carlsbad 5-4 overall, 3-1 district. So is Hobbs, 3-1 in district. Both teams, the only loss in district play has been to Centennial. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight at Carlsbad. Also tonight, Loving will be playing at Hagerman. Loving started out 6-0, but have lost their last 3, and they haven't been close. The Falcons hoping to finish the regular slate with a victory against the Bobcats. And Artesia on the road tomorrow at Mayfield. That starts at noon. Artesia has wrapped up the district. Mayfield 0-2, but always dangerous. Volleyball scores from last night. Artesia sweeps Lovington by a 3-0 count. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio, AM 990.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Amazon earnings disappoint. Intel cuts its outlook again. Elon Musk takes over Twitter. Those stories next. Lou Dobbs here. I want to tell you about the good folks at Lone Star Transfer. They're the industry leader in helping you get out of your timeshare. If you're stuck in one, you don't have to be. For well over a decade, Lone Star has successfully helped over 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare nightmare. Lone Star Transfer is simply the best in the business, and with an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star testimonials, their clients want you to know they trust Lone Star. They're a family-owned company that has earned a reputation for delivering first-class customer service. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. With rising assessments and maintenance fees, there's never been a better time to get out of your timeshare than now. Call today to receive a free, no-obligation consultation at 844-284-4739. That's 844-284-4739 or online at LoneStarTransfer.com. Amazon stock down 16% in after-hours trading, missing third-quarter targets. Amazon's lowered its fourth-quarter sales forecast as well, a period typically noted for increased holiday spending. Inflation catching up with both the consumer and Amazon. Intel cut its full-year revenue forecast for the second time this year. Intel missed revenue targets for the third quarter and warned slower PC sales will affect the next quarter. Elon Musk targeting online advertisers as he assumes control of Twitter. The Tesla billionaire says ad revenue is his main focus, a departure from previous talks with investors about boosting subscriber numbers. More than 90% of Twitter's second quarter revenue came from ad sales. Energy earnings take center stage today. Exxon and Chevron coming off record-setting quarters last quarter. Please join me 3 times each weekday right here on this station. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey, Lou. Not sure what's going to happen with the Twitters. Now that Elon's walked in, and I think that was kind of funny. He walked in with a sink. Tweeted the video, let this sink in. It's going to be interesting. And then all the content managers at Twitter, heads are exploding. All the liberals are going nuts. What do you mean, free speech and democracy? We can't tell you what is free speech and what to be democracy is. Well, if we have free speech, then everybody gets a voice. No, only certain people get a voice. That's free speech. And Jan 6, our democracy is in peril. Our democracy is in peril because the people might actually vote in a way that you don't approve of, which does not mean the democracy is in peril. It means the democracy works. The people ultimately attempt to have a say-so on what's going on in this country. And it may not be what you think. I think Kat Temp had the best description of this craziness. Apparently, the people of Twitter wrote a letter to Elon with their demands. Now that you're taking over, here's what we demand. As the employees of Twitter, this is what we want from you. You have to do this if you're proper. And Kat Temp likened it to these are the same college kids. The same college kids that would rise up and complain to block conservative speakers from being able to even walk on the campus at the college they went to. And by jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and protesting and threatening to disrupt everything, the campus administration would buckle to their complaints and ban conservative speakers from even walking on campus. So they got away with it in college, and they were getting away with it at Twitter. And then Elon Musk, who doesn't care for any of that garbage, he's a businessman. You know, I want to launch rockets into space. I want to build electric cars. I want to create a network of satellites to provide internet all around the world. I want to build a flamethrower. I want to build a tunnel to have rapid transit underneath major cities to cut down on traffic on the ground. And you do it, and you get the people on your team that make it happen, and you get rid of the people that don't ride along with you, and you don't have time to deal with issues like safe spaces and happy words and pronouns and all this other kind of stuff. You need stuff done. And so I think it was a brilliant observation that these are the same kids that are now running Twitter that were at college that were able to stop free speech because it was the wrong speech, and they've been able to stop free speech because it's the wrong speech on a platform like Twitter, and now their jobs are in jeopardy. They're either going to have to do their job or go find another job at another platform. I could see them putting in their applications at Truth. Wouldn't that be the thing to do? All right, the weekend is happening, and is it going to get better weather-wise, Steve? What do we know?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We had that cold front move through yesterday, and now we have high pressure back over our area, so things look good. It'll be cool today with our afternoon high staying at around 60, and it could be very windy with gusts of 25 to 45 miles per hour. Watch out for some blowing dust. Overnight, partly cloudy, and our low in the upper 30s, upper 60s, and sunny on Saturday, and not as windy, fair Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's pretty cool. If you're watching online, if you're a Facebook Live or YouTuber watching this show, and Jeffrey's got the live video. This is live video from our camera east of town pointing west back toward the Pecos Valley. And you can see the cloud bank. And then Jeffrey has his sun that's a part of the weather forecast. This is what Roswell's going to have for a forecast today. And it actually does look like the actual sun is poking up through the actual clouds that are over the area. That's pretty cool. Just kind of worked out that way. But yeah, that if you're watching that when we do go to that camera, that is a live shot from east of town looking back over the Pecos Valley. And it's kind of cool to see the weather starting to improve. Right now it's 50 degrees, still kind of breezy out there. Our humidity is at 64%. The dew point is 38. Winds are out of the north at 19. Pressure's at 30.22 and rising. Our air quality is 44. We have good air quality. High yesterday was 73. The overnight low 39. 1 year ago we had a high of 72 and a low of 33. Minimum 4-inch soil temps are around 53 degrees. The sun will set at 6:10 this evening and will rise at 7:13 in the morning. Around the region, breezy and 52 in Carlsbad, 49 in Roswell and in Hobbs. Around New Mexico, sunshine, 36 in Albuquerque, 33 in Santa Fe and Cloudcroft, 36 in Ruidoso, 45 in Las Cruces, 27 in Farmington, 23 at Red River, 45 in Clovis, and in West Texas, they're still seeing some rain, and 49 in Lubbock, sunshine, and 44 in El Paso, and again here in Artesia, breezy and 50 degrees. All right. Let's take a break, and then we'll take a look at we talked about the Halloween fun that's taking place at the library as part of the Trick or Treat Artesia, which is tomorrow evening. Let's take a look at some other stuff happening around town when we come back.
Community safety matters. I'm Yvette Harrell.
Yvette Harrell and her Great Dane Reba are traveling across New Mexico to meet with us.
Reba looks out for my house, just like our police make our families feel secure in their homes. With a tough economy and crime on the rise, we have to look out for our neighbors and our neighborhood protectors.
From Albuquerque to Las Cruces, we're seeing record highs in violent crime. But radical liberal Gabe Vasquez says he wants to defund and deconstruct law enforcement when we need them even more. Yvette Harrell knows better. She's fighting for common sense solutions to make your family safe again.
So I'm working to fund our law enforcement and crack down on criminals who harm police. I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message because your family's safety deserves a watchdog.
Yvette Harrell for Congress. Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of affordable tires. Our Bigfoot AT2 offers improved all-terrain traction. Our Legacy All-Season Plus keeps you on the road in any weather. And each set comes standard with the industry's greatest warranty. Now through October 30th, save $100 instantly on select sets of 4 Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Celebrate 50 years of service. Decor of Carlsbad wants to thank Carlsbad in southeastern New Mexico for your patronage and friendship over the years. So right now, save on dinette sets, $6.99, sofa and love seats, $12.99, and queen size Euro Top plush mattress set, $3.99. Financing available and no credit needed with leasing options. 90 days same as cash. Delivery available. So take it home today. The 50-year anniversary sale going on now at Decor Furniture and Electronics, 815 West Mermont in Carlsbad.
It's Chevy truck season at Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. The Chevy Silverado is as durable as it is dependable with its proven power and capability along with advanced technology. And this month you can make it your own with a $1,000 accessory allowance when you purchase or lease a Silverado 1500 or HD. So come on in and see us today at Guy Chevrolet Company on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia or at GuyChevy.com.
Making a great deal better every day.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Governor Lujan Grisham ordered the early release of hundreds of criminals from prison. One was Christopher Beltran. Beltran threatened his ex-girlfriend in these prison phone calls.
Shut the f*** up. You'll see when I'm beating their
He bragged he'd quickly find a gun.
It's probably going to be a couple hours till I go find one.
Scared, she refused to tell him where she lived.
I don't want nobody to know where I live. For my own safety.
You don't want to show me where you're at? I'll find you myself. I'll kick in your door by myself, fool.
These recorded prison calls didn't stop Beltran's early release. He immediately hunted Monique down, knocked on her door, and shot her in the face. She was a mom and never should have been killed. Lujan Grisham released Beltran and hundreds of other criminals from prison early. It's time to hold her accountable. Paid for by Mark Ronchetti for governor.
I'm Mark Ronchetti, and I approve this message.
Hocker & Sons of Artesia, a company specializing in excavation and construction, is proud to support and provide construction services to the people and businesses of Eddy County and the surrounding area. With their expert knowledge of the industry, Hocker & Sons is well equipped to offer top-level service and professionalism to all oil field businesses, commercial and private parties with excavation and construction needs. Call Hocker & Sons today at 575-365-3175 or visit their website at hockerandsons.com. Go Bulldogs!
So the Halloween fun is at the library 4 to 6 tomorrow. Also is the Trick or Treat Artesia from 5 to 7. Main Street will be blocked off for most of the downtown area, and that way the kids don't have to be restricted to just the sidewalks. So get out and have fun with all of that tomorrow. There is a flu clinic for the public today. This will be at Artesia General Hospital in the Green Chili Cafe. Anyone who's eligible for a flu vaccine is welcome to join. No pre-registration required. Vaccines will be available from 9 a.m. until they run out, or 4 o'clock, whichever happens first. The Coffee with the Co-op. Coffee with the Co-op is today out at CVE, 9 to 11 and 2 to 4. Stop by the office, grab a cup of coffee and something sweet, and get to know your coop. And your coop. And I was told, yes, if you want Mike to leave when you walk in, that can be arranged. So if he's hanging around eating donuts and drinking coffee when you come in, if you stop at the door and point, he will be escorted back to his office, and that'll be done. There's a blood drive today at Hotel Artesia, 2 to 5:30 p.m.
Oh, good. I can go do that.
You can do that. Tomorrow they'll be accepting blood at the Vitalant office in Roswell, 11 to 3. Call or text Stephanie, 575-840-8178. Today is the deadline if you want to purchase shoes through the Written in Red Foundation's Souls for Students shoe drive. If you go to their Facebook page, there's a link that you click that takes you to the Amazon page, the wish lists, and all that. Their goal is to get 250 pairs of shoes to donate to disadvantaged students in Artesia, Cloudcroft, Lake Arthur, and Hagerman. It's the last weekend for Heirloom Makers. They'll be open tonight, 6 to 9, tomorrow 10 to 8, Sunday 2 to 8.
Yeah. Very glad that they were able to get a nice weekend last weekend.
That's right. Artesia school students' flu clinic is at the public health office tomorrow, 10 to 1, no charge. If weather permits, it'll be a drive-through. So that's for Artesia Public Schools students. Flu clinic, public health office tomorrow, 10 to 1. You won't be getting any football players.
Nope.
Public library is the location for the DEA National Drug Take-Back. They'll be outside the library 10 to 2 tomorrow. We mentioned Halloween fun, 4 to 6. Main Street Trick or Treat Artesia's 5 to 7. For those of you that are in trouble and are grounded and are begging for an opportunity to maybe get out of the house, troubled kids and adults, you can get out of your probation by going to the fall movie event at the Ocotillo. It's in the Heritage Walkway Park. 6:30 Sunday night. Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. Free movie, free popcorn. Bring your chairs, bring your beverages, and enjoy that. If you want to audition for the play Who Poisoned His Meatball, with performances are coming up mid-February. There'll be auditions Sunday 2 o'clock. Tuesday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. in the library. No, in the lobby of the Ocotillo. A couple of trunk or treats on Monday. Hermosa Church of Christ is having a trunk or treat starting at 5 on Monday. I understand Captain America will be in the dunking booth.
Yes, he will.
And Catalyst Church is having their 7th annual trunk or treat, 5:30. Captain America won't be in the dunking booth.
No, I do not believe we will have a dunking booth.
Gotcha. And then the Branch Community College Board of Eastern New Mexico University Roswell is having a special virtual meeting Monday at 1:30. So that's what we have going on. All right, so Halloween is Monday, and maybe you want to have a cute message on your corporate or your business voicemail. Let's try this one. Thank you for calling Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. We can't come to the Felitone right now, but we exactly know what you need. We are casting a Patronus charm after this call to bring a messenger right to your doorstep. So please leave your name and number. Happy Halloween.
I like it.
You like that one?
Yes.
Okay, might try that one. Hello, you have reached the Sixth Sense Analytics. I know who you are and why you've called, so at the sound of your tone, say your word and hang up the phone immediately. Would that be a good one to try?
Yeah. And that's much better than some of my voicemail messages.
So you're on a call, and you have to put them on hold for a second. Hey, I have to go. Let me check on that. Let me put you on hold. For the on hold message, I'm right behind you. Maybe not.
Don't look.
Okay. How about sing this one to the Addams Family theme? We're crazy and we're spooky, mysterious and kooky, Please leave your name and number for the Addams family.
Da-doom.
After the beep, you can speak.
No, I like that one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Let's see. I wonder if they would do this at Turpinning and Son. We're out digging up customers for the business. Leave a message at the Howl. Nah, probably shouldn't do that.
I'll try to remember to ask David that.
Yeah. This is a very scary place. Leave your name and phone number after the scream, and we'll haunt you with a return call. And then have a dog howling before and after the message and a lot of screams in the background. Maybe do that for your voice message on Monday.
Yeah.
Would that be good?
No, I've just got to... Well, telemarketers still call me, but everyone who matters sends a text.
Yeah. Maybe you could tell the telemarketers, hey, hang on just a second. By the way, how do you get blood out of carpet?
How?
A lot. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, telemarketer. Before we talk about your deal, can you help me with the problem I have? How do you... I got like a lot of blood in the carpet just now.
And if they give an answer, do you say, what do I do with the bodies?
We'll see you next hour.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A newly released snapshot of the economy shows the fires of inflation burning red hot last month. The Commerce Department says that prices rose 6.2% in September from 12 months earlier. It was the same year-over-year gain as in August. A suspect is in custody in the severe beating of Paul Pelosi, the 82-year-old husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. A spokesman says the assailant broke into the Pelosi home in San Francisco early this morning. Nancy Pelosi was not there at the time. Paul Pelosi is now in the hospital, expected to make a full recovery, according to a spokesman. There's no word yet on a motive. Conservatives watching with cautious optimism now that Elon Musk has wrapped up his $44 billion purchase of Twitter. Among his first orders of business, firing Twitter's CEO, its CFO, and the chief counsel. Tech analyst Omar Akhtar says, buckle up for a wild ride.
There is a chance that one of the first things he'd like to do is bring back everybody that was banned or bring back everybody that was controversial. Certainly that's part of his MO. And that could happen with or without Elon Musk.
Among the highest profile figures banned from Twitter, former President Trump. 8 people found dead in a burning house in the Tulsa suburb of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Early indications, according to officers on scene, confirm that they are investigating a homicide.
Broken Arrow police spokesman Ethan Hutchins telling KTUL it's going to take some time to sort this out.
It's a complex scene with a lot of moving parts in the state of the house, given the fire damage. So this remains under investigation.
Police stress there's no danger to the public at large. Nice rally underway on Wall Street. The Dow's up close to 600 points. NASDAQ ahead, 176. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
China's largest city, Shanghai, ordering mass coronavirus testing on 1.3 million people.
The residents are to be confined to their homes, at least until results are known. The demand is an echo of measures ordered over the summer that led to a 2-month lockdown that devastated the local economy, prompting food shortages and rare confrontations between residents and the authorities. China's shown no sign of backing away from its hardline zero COVID policy, since a major congress of the ruling Communist Party that concluded this week awarded authoritarian leader Xi Jinping a third 5-year term in power. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
At least 31 people are dead, 9 others missing. Flash floods and landslides set off by torrential rains that swamped the southern Philippines, trapping some residents on their rooftops. News and analysis at townhall.com. The taxman goes on a hiring spree.
The IRS says it has hired an additional 4,000 customer service representatives who are being trained to answer taxpayer questions during the 2023 tax filing season. It's part of the new hiring made possible when congressional Democrats gave the IRS an $80 billion boost through the flagship climate and healthcare laws signed this summer. It is meant to help rebuild an agency that hadn't seen additional funding in decades. The IRS is still working on how it will spend the extra $80 billion, but has emphasized that resources will be focused on improving customer service and scrutiny of high-income earners. Norman Hall, Washington.
Average prices for new and used vehicles have started easing just a bit from their record highs of late. Even so, average prices still running 30 to 50% above where they were back in early 2020. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Francine Guerrero. Francine works at Holly Asphalt, and Sunday is Francine's birthday. Happy birthday! We hope you have a wonderful day. And this is from the Blue-Eyed Troll. Today, Francine, you're going to receive a flower from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Francine Guerrero.
My front lawn, I know they're all thinking I'm so wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Can't you see I'm wide and nerdy? Look at me, I'm wide and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. I'm just too wide and nerdy. Really, really wide and nerdy.
Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, broadcasting from downtown Artesia, New Mexico, USA. This is hour number 3, the 9 o'clock hour for Friday, October 28th. Glad you could find a little time to hang with us today. We appreciate that. And if it's just for catch an interview or two, or the weather, or the stock market update, or if you're able to hang with us and listen to the whole show, we appreciate whatever time that you get to spend with us, and hopefully we'll put a smile on your face and maybe get a chuckle out of you or two before the day is done, or maybe I'll go on a rant and you can go, yeah, you tell them, Gene, and all that kind of stuff. So coming up this hour, we're going to have a visit here in a few minutes from Lisa Dillon, who is the band director for the Artesia High School, and kind of recap the year. And they won't be marching in Las Cruces tomorrow, so we'll just kind of chit-chat with Lisa for a little bit. They'll have a pep band there. They'll be in the stands, and they'll be showing their support, getting the fans fired up, and hopefully getting the team fired up, but they're not going to get to march on the Field of Dreams tomorrow afternoon in Las Cruces. And then, of course, we got the playoffs coming up, and if there's a playoff game in the Bulldog Bowl, the band will get to march. And if there's a playoff game someplace other than the Bulldog Bowl, it'll depend on the school, the host school, where that game will take place. So we'll talk with Lisa here in a little bit. We'll have Aaron Irving and our market report and slideshow and jokes. And then we're going to finish up the hour today with Dr. Larry Young from Artesia Animal Clinic. We wandered over there a few weeks ago and recorded a couple of interview segments with Dr. Young. We've aired one, and we're going to air the second one today at 9:45. So we hope you can stick around for that. Clay and Buck and Sean and Mark and Clyde, regular programming today, as the football game is tomorrow night, so we won't be interrupting Friday night. If you're a Clyde Lewis fan, Friday nights the last 9 weeks have been kind of disappointing because you can't hear the show because we have football on both of our stations that carry Clyde Lewis. But tonight tonight, since there's no Artesia football game, you can listen to Clyde Lewis tonight, full broadcast, 8 to 11 tonight on KSVP, because we'll be playing football tomorrow. If you are wanting to stay up with the Roswell-Goddard football game tonight, we'll have the Roswell Perspective on 106.5 FM. We'll have the Goddard Perspective on 106.1 FM, and that'll be tonight on the radio. And on the TV, go to ksvptv.com and click on the Goddard logo, and you'll get the Goddard Perspective video. And if you click on the Coyote logo, you'll get the Coyote Perspective logo. Tomorrow, Goddard Soccer is hosting St. Pius. That's I think that's a boys' game, because the girls are in Los Alamos. And we will have that on KSVP TV tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Chris Deck will be calling the play-by-play on that one. And a good night for the Artesia volleyball team last night. They popped over to Lovington and beat Lovington in 3 sets. And that was, let's see, I've got the info right here. I should have had it pulled up. I apologize for not having up there. They beat Lovington in 3 sets, 25-14, 25-22, and 25-14. Goddard, meanwhile, went up to Portales last night, and Portales sent them into extra innings in the first set, 27-25, but then Goddard won the next 2 sets, 25-20 and 25-21. So, through the first 4 games of district volleyball, Goddard's 4-0, Artesia's 3-1, Portales 1-3, and Lovington's 0-4. Tuesday night at the Pit in Artesia is the rematch of the earlier match that was at Goddard at the Bulldog Pit. So Tuesday night, we're encouraging everyone to be in the pit to cheer on the Lady Bulldogs as they host the Goddard Lady Rockets in volleyball Tuesday night. Monday night football, the Artesia Rec League 5th and 6th grade tackle football Monday is moved to Tuesday. Monday's Halloween. A lot of kids are going to be out trick-or-treating, or a lot of families are going to have kids that are going to be out trick-or-treating. So the Monday night football league games have been moved to Tuesday night, 6:30. So we will have radio and TV coverage of the volleyball game Tuesday night around 6:30, and then we'll have Louie and I will be out at J.C. Park, and we will stream the Monday night football games Monday night at 6:30 from out at J.C. Park. So that's I'll be the one in the basket, 15 feet in the air, running the camera. And Louie will be the voice that you hear on the broadcast on Tuesday night. So again, Monday night football is on Tuesday night because of Halloween on Monday night. All right, that kind of gets us through the announcements that we have on all of that good stuff there. Got a note from the Sacramento Ranger District. They're going to have some prescribed burns on the Lincoln National Forest. The projects will begin in November and continue into early 2023. And the planned prescribed fires include the Lewis prescribed fire, 684 acres southeast of Weed. The Jim Lewis piles, 2,031 acres pile burn, 11 miles southwest of Weed. The West Side piles, 147 acres pile burn, La Luz. And the administrative piles and slash pit, 33 acres, Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Smoke from the burns could be visible from surrounding areas from Alamogordo to Cloudcroft and Weed to Pinon. Smoke may settle into drainages and lower elevations at night, but is expected to dissipate. For additional information on the prescribed fire projects in the Sacramento Ranger District, you can call the district at 575-682-2551 or visit their website, which is fs.usda.gov/Lincoln. www.fs.usda.gov/Lincoln. So those are some prescribed burns that are going to be coming up over the next few weeks in and around Weed, La Luz, and Cloudcroft. Just something to be aware of if you've got property or friends or family up there. Stay on top of that information. All right, it is a weekend. It is, a day off or two for some. Let's see what kind of weather we're going to get to enjoy. Steve?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We had that cold front move through yesterday, and now we have high pressure back over our area, so things look good. It'll be cool today with our afternoon high staying at around 60, and it could be very windy with gusts of 25 to 45 miles per hour. Watch out for some blowing dust. Overnight, partly cloudy, and our low in the upper 30s, upper 60s, and sunny on Saturday, and not as windy, fair Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Breezy, 51 out there. Humidity is at 61%. The dew point is 38 degrees. Winds are northerly at 19, but the air is 51. It feels like it's 50, so it's kind of what it is. Pressure at 30.23 and rising. Our air quality index is 49. We have good air quality. High yesterday was 73. The overnight low 39. 1 year ago 72 and 33. Minimum 4-inch soil temps are around 53 degrees. Sunset will be at 6:10. Sunrise at 7:13. Officially, looks like we didn't get any rainfall at the Ag Science Center. Here in town, though, 0.05 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Around the region, Carlsbad, breezy and 53, 50 in Roswell. If you're going up to the Bowl of Wool tonight, the winds will die down and sun will come out in full strength. And at game time tonight should be real nice. 56 degrees at kickoff for the Roswell-Goddard game tonight at the Wool Bowl. Breezy and 50 over in Hobbs. Around New Mexico, sunny and 38 in Albuquerque, 36 in Santa Fe, 35 in Cloudcroft, 37 in Ruidoso. Down in Las Cruces, sunshine and 47. If you're going to the football game tomorrow, we don't have a game time temperature yet, but the forecast for Saturday is sunny and 68 for a high. So should be in the mid-60s at kickoff, peaking at 68 by halftime, and then maybe starting to chill down as the sun slowly moves off to the west. But it should be a perfect day for football in Las Cruces tomorrow afternoon. Sunny and 30 in Farmington, 26 at Red River, breezy and 46 in Clovis, and in West Texas it's still raining and 50 in Lubbock, sunny and 46 in El Paso. And again, we've got the breezes and 51 degrees here in Artesia, New Mexico. So looking forward to that. We talked about this earlier with the football rankings, what impact the games this weekend may have. If you look at the overall rankings for football in 5A, remember in football, the NMAA has 6 classes, whereas in all other sports they have 5 classes. And in football, Artesia and Goddard are in 5A, 4A in everything else. Roswell and Mayfield are in 4A, or in 5A in everything. So they dropped them down a class in football, Mayfield, but I think they're 5A in everything else like Roswell is. But Max Preps has Artesia at number 1, Roswell at number 2, Piedra Vista at number 3, Goddard at number 4, Mayfield at number 5, Deming number 6, Valley number 7, Gadsden number 8, Mayamera number 9, Santa Teresa at number 10, and Highland at number 11, Los Alamos at number 12. There are only 16 teams in 5A, so when the brackets come out this weekend, only 4 teams are not going to get a postseason invitation. And most likely those are going to be Del Norte, which is 0-9, Chaparral, which is 0-9, Manzano, which is 1-8. And then the question is, of the next teams, is Belen not going to get an invitation? They're 2-7 going into this weekend's games. And then you have Los Alamos is 5-4 at number 12, Highland 5-3 at number 11, and then Santa Teresa 3-6 at number 10. And then Mayamera and Gadsden are 4-5. Valley is 6-3, but their strength of schedule is so weak that it keeps them down further than they might be with a 6-3 record. Deming is 5-4, and then Mayfield 4-5. So, let's say Artesia wins at Mayfield. Artesia would finish 8-2, and Mayfield would be at 4-6. So does Deming move up? Mayfield move down? If Deming wins this weekend, if Deming wins, they'd be 6-4 in all of that. If Roswell beats Goddard, Roswell would be 8-2 like Artesia. If Piedra Vista wins, they would be 8-2. Goddard would be at 6-4. If Valley wins, they would be 6-4. Deming wins, they'd be 6-4. So you'd have a group of teams at 6-4. So it's just hard to know. Max Preps is one of the criteria areas that the NMAA looks at, but the NMAA has their own criteria points that are awarded that they use to determine the seeding for the brackets. So just because the Max Preps has Artesia at 1 and Roswell at 2 doesn't necessarily mean that those would be 1 and 2 based on the NMAA criteria points, but they're pretty close. So if Roswell wins tonight, I don't see that changing. I would see Artesia 1, Roswell 2. If PV wins tonight, they'd probably be 3. And then if Goddard loses and Deming wins, Mayfield loses to Artesia tomorrow, would they move Valley up into a top 4 slot, or would they move Deming up into a top 4 slot and drop Goddard and Mayfield out of the top 4? I don't think they would do that. I would think regardless of what Goddard does with Roswell tonight, Goddard would be a top 4. If Goddard wins, I think they're definitely a top 4 team, and I don't think Roswell moves any lower than 3 if Piedra Vista wins. But remember, Roswell beat Piedra Vista, so it very well could be, regardless of the outcome of the District 4 5A football games this weekend, you may see Artesia at 1, Roswell at 2, PV at 3, Goddard at 4, Mayfield at 5, Deming at 6, Valley at 7, and then everybody else would be below that. The other question is which teams will the NMAA elevate then into the playoffs? And remember, they take 12, and then the top 4 get a bye and then host their quarterfinal game, the higher seed. So if it ended today with the way things shake out, Mayfield would host Los Alamos, Deming would host Highland, Valley would host Santa Teresa, and Gadsden would host Mayamera. If the standings as they are now hold out and are the standings with all that. Anyway, we were just kind of filling time until our next guest is able to join us, and she is the band director for Artesia High School, Lisa Dillon. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Dandy.
So you've the last couple of years you've had just kind of a whirlwind trip. You've been to Hawaii. You've been to Disney.
Yes, sir.
Are you going anywhere now, or are you just going to kind of hang loose for a little while?
Well, if I could do a drum roll.
Okay.
Drum roll. Yes. Our band has been selected to represent the state of New Mexico for the 2024 National Memorial Day Parade. No, not Memorial Day Parade, the Pearl Harbor Memorial Day Memorial Parade. So it's in December.
Mm-hmm.
It will be December 7 in Honolulu, Hawaii. And
this December 7th?
Oh, no.
Next December 7th.
2024.
2024?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
yes,
not
sir.
Next year, but the year after next.
Yes, sir.
Well,
yes,
that's
sir.
exciting, going back to Hawaii again.
Yes. And it's a great opportunity for kids to see the history. And we have, not only will we be continue celebrating Veterans Day, which is coming up, and we'll be playing at that with the third graders on Friday, the 11th. But also we'll be celebrating in 2024 our veterans, and they have a veteran that goes with the tour groups on the boats that go through the bay there, and they talk to them about the war and where they were and how things came about for
exciting.
them to participate. Yes.
And you get to go to the Arizona Memorial as
Yes,
part of
sir.
that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
That amazing. There can't be that many veterans left. It's been so long that so many of them have been passing away over the last few years. So
Yes, sir.
hopefully there'll still be a veteran who was there to be your tour guide. But if not, I'm sure there's some very well educated and knowledgeable tour guides that'll be there to help out.
Yes, and we'll be able to play on the deck of the Missouri again. And we'll also, they don't let you actually stand or get on the Pearl Harbor Memorial there. So something that I was shocked when we went, they said, well, we can't, they're not going to help us with funding.
Yeah. They being the...
being the United States government.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Look at all of the wonderful programs that we have that we're all paying for and contributing to help each other and one another in our national and state endeavors. And I just didn't understand why there wasn't money being allocated to be able to save the memorial where people can go and read those names.
That very upsetting.
Yes, sir.
I hope that has been corrected or will be corrected very, very soon.
I hope so.
Been a good year for the band. The marching competition, very well attended. Another superior rating for the band.
Yes, sir. They did an outstanding job. They made first division superior rating from each judge, and that was very, very, very exciting. It's great to realize that when we're out there working in the heat of the day, you know, with everyone else in the sports and activities, and those band kids are right out there with them, and it's nice to see the fruition of all of that hard work and effort, because those kids work very, very hard. And some of them are in multiple activities, so they're splitting time between band and cheer and band and football and band and cross country and
volleyball and
yes,
all the other sports. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We had quite a few volleyball kids that we were sharing as well, and they're just booking it. Man, those kids work hard, but they're so. I'm so proud of them, because not only do they make good grades in their academic classes, but they're also participating in multiple events and multiple activities, you know, athletics and band. And some of them, for the third activity, is the Skills USA portion, and the STEM. Some of those kids are doing athletics, band, and choir. So they're really so proud of them and really working hard.
So the band competition season is done, but you've got some upcoming concert events.
Yes, sir.
As we get fall and into the holidays. And I know the Estelle Yates Auditorium is having some renovations that are going on. So what concerts do you have coming up, and where will those take place?
Well, we have our the next event that we'll be performing for is a fire concert in partner with Heirloom Makers and Navajo Refining Company, and that will be on Saturday, November 5th, a week from tomorrow. So we'll be playing out there, and there will be 2 balloons with canopies, and then there will be 4 balloons without canopies so far that we know about. And the chamber has been working really hard. Just a myriad of people trying to make a nice event for that evening.
Okay.
And there'll be food trucks, and we'll just have a great time.
Yep.
On that Saturday, November 5th.
November
When it gets dark,
Yes.
the band will play, and
the balloons will glow, or the fire
Yes.
will fly. So that'll be good.
Yes.
So then, and then you mentioned you're going to have some students at the Veterans Day.
Yes.
In the City Hall, in front of Artesia City Hall. The third graders all come and sing, and then you'll have some performers there.
Yes, the full high school ensemble
Okay.
will all the kids who are eligible that have those grades, they will be performing that day at 11
Okay.
on that Friday, on
Excellent.
Veterans Day, the 11th, and we'll be playing at our national anthem,
Mhm.
and then we'll be performing God Bless America, and then we have our TAPS ensemble that we implemented with Dr. Kennedy, where there's an ensemble of trumpeteers and flugelhorns and euphoniums playing taps.
Okay.
So it makes it really nice, in addition to guest speakers and seeing those kids sing. And,
That's right. The
Yes.
third graders. And then do you have a winter concert planned
Yes,
for this
sir.
year? Okay.
December 5th. It was originally going to be Tuesday, December 6th, but there's multiple athletic events on that day, so we'd be missing about a third of our band. So we have to back it up to Monday,
Mhm.
December 5th, and that will be at the Red Brick Gym.
Okay.
And we'll have all the ensembles there, grades 6 through 12. We'll have our beginning band and our advanced band, and then the junior high band, and then the high school will close out the program.
That's great.
Yes.
If I could go back to the marching contest.
Yes, sir.
The theme of the halftime performances this year has been songs from the movie Cars.
Yes, sir.
And there was a gentleman that came all the way from Mountain Air with
Yes.
a special vehicle just to support the band.
Yes, Mike Hines. Mike Hines came with his car that he's decked out with the hood, just like Lightning McQueen,
Mhm.
and it has Rusty's medicated bumper ointment, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And so he had painted his wheels. He had decked out the tires with Goodyear, in white, and he really worked hard. He also had Minnie, the Disney figurines in his car window, so you could see those and check that out. And then he had the lightning on the camper part
Mhm.
that he had the little pop-up trailer cover.
Yeah.
And that was really neat. He came and watched the band, and he's also a band director. He and his wife both are band directors.
Okay.
And so he was able to give us some last minute pointers that he saw
Yeah.
from his point of view, and then the kids just did a phenomenal job. And sure like to say thank you again to Coach Maupin and our Bulldog football team for coming out and supporting our band, and Coach Henderson and the entire APS staff. They, when I send them emails, and KSVP TV
Mhm.
is there to broadcast the event, so everyone gets to see
Yep.
themselves the next day, and that's so nice. Thank you very much for providing that, Gene.
Good numbers on that. A lot of people watched that from all over, and that was exciting. But I wondered how Mr. Hines knew that your band was performing music from Cars, but now he's a band director, so I'm guessing that's kind of a small circle universe, I guess. So everybody kind of knows what everybody's doing from time to time.
Well, to tell you the truth, we had our intermediate school kids in the 6th and 7th grade participate up in Ruidoso for an honor band. And so we had gone up there, and while the kids are playing in their ensembles, the band directors have a meeting. So we had a meeting, and we were talking about, band business and concert season and district and marching season. And so I happened to mention, hey, we're doing the music from Cars. And so that's when Mr. Hines brought out his phone and said, hey, you've got to see my car.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, my stars. I said, is there any way that, and so that was the beginning of those plans was May.
Of
May
this year, yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to ask you, Saturday the football team is playing Mayfield in Las Cruces.
Yes, sir.
You've traveled to some of the games you haven't been able to travel. What will be the band's plans for the Saturday football game at Mayfield? You'll be there.
Yes.
But won't be marching, right?
Right. They don't allow us to march in Albuquerque and in Las Cruces. And, of course, if they came here for a game, we always allow our guests to march first and take care of business in that way, the way that we were taught in this part of the country. So some other people were not brought up like that. So I'm very pleased to always extend and welcome our guest bands that come, and they're always more than welcome to march so we can see their show. And due to us not being able to march, then we'll be in the stands. We'll be locked and loaded, ready to go. During halftime, our kids will take a break. The Mayfield band is going to a band contest, the tournament of bands, from what I understand. So they're not going to even be present on that day.
Oh, okay. So there will be no band at halftime.
Right.
Either yours, obviously, or theirs. So
yes.
So pull up the recording from the marching contest, and if you just have to watch a band compete
Hoorah.
at halftime tomorrow, just pull it up on your phone and you can watch that one.
Go Bulldogs.
There you go. Lisa, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for getting this wired and ready to go, and thank you for being there tomorrow yourself.
All right. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good day.
We're going to take a break, get Aaron in here, and I think we chewed up most of Aaron's time, but that's okay. We'll be back in just a moment.
Can you believe what environmental extremist Gabe Vasquez said about New Mexico's oil and gas industry? He actually said,
shut it all down, let's just get rid of it immediately.
Shut it all down? Really? I guess Gabe Vasquez doesn't care that taxes on oil and gas provide over half of the money for our public schools. Our oil and gas industry provides over 60,000 jobs in New Mexico and has sent billions of dollars directly to the Children's Permanent Education Fund, so our public schools are always funded. Gabe Vasquez wants to, quote, shut it all down and break that promise. Vasquez would destroy our economy, bankrupt businesses, kill thousands of jobs, and fail our kids. Gabe Vasquez in Congress? Absolutely no way. Let's shut Vasquez down instead. Say no to Gabe Vasquez and his radical agenda and protect our jobs in schools. Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Our Values PAC.
In volatile times, it's natural to worry about your retirement.
Hon, I'm worried about our retirement account.
With today's economy, it just makes sense to keep your retirement money close to home with people you know. We have several guaranteed safe options. Peace of mind with retirement savings. It just makes sense. Western Bank of Artesia. Member FDIC. It just makes sense.
PVT gives you a smarter home with PVT security and home automation, powered by Total Connect. Connecting with PVT allows you to protect, monitor, and control your home quickly, conveniently, and from anywhere that you have an internet-connected smart device. PVT's offices and technicians here in southeastern New Mexico provide peace of mind with a security or smart home solution for every budget. Call PVT today at 575-748-1241 or visit pvt.com. Make sure to ask us about our contract buyout program.
Hi, I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon. When I put on that black robe, my thought process zooms in and focuses on the law. Nothing but the law. Just because I like you or don't, or because you're a Republican or Democrat, in this courtroom, it doesn't matter. The evidence presented and the law that the legislature passed are the only things that matter. This is hallowed ground, and I don't play favorites. I rule by the letter of the law. I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon, and I'm asking for your vote November 8th.
Paid for by the committee-elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
This is Corey Landals, Youth Minister over at the Hermosa Church of Christ, just coming at you with a reminder of our trunk or treats that we have scheduled for October 31st, Monday afternoon, beginning at 5 o'clock at 2512 West Bush Avenue, which is located at the Hermosa Church of Christ building. We hope that you will be willing to bring your kids and have a great time, have some good food, fun, and fellowship with many individuals, and to build good relationships. That's Monday, October 31st at 5 o'clock at the Hermosa Church of Christ.
Well, Aaron, I have eaten up most of our time.
It happens.
Yeah, well, Lisa couldn't be here till 9:20, so that's why we couldn't start that segment a little bit earlier. And then I have the Dr. Young interview ready to go that needs to start here in about 5 minutes, so we'll get this figured out. I did have a couple of voicemail announcements that you might find funny if you need them. And I love, by the way, your theme. That's the governor's limo that they're going to leave for Ronchetti
right.
after the election. These might be kind of cute if you put them on your voicemail. Hi. Now you say something. Hello, I'm David's answering machine. Who are you? Greetings, you've reached the Sixth Sense Detective Agency. We know who you are and what you want, so at the sound of the tone, hang up. Let's see. I'm probably home, just avoiding someone I don't like. Leave a message, and if I don't call you back, it was you. And then the last one here. This is Dan Cassidy's voicemail. Please leave your name and number, and after I've doctored the audio, your message will implicate you in a federal crime and be brought to the attention of the FBI.
Very good.
So that's a pretty good one there. Do you have a story for us for a Friday morning?
Sure. So Mark Ronchetti was approached by MLG after their second debate. She said, "If you were my husband, I would poison your tea." Ronchetti replied, "If you were my wife, I'd gladly drink it."
Touché. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, it's getting down to crunch time, People are out voting and
yeah,
campaigning, last-minute campaigning's going on, and the candidates, I'm sure, crisscrossing the state trying to shore up their support ahead of the election on November 8th. So we'll see how it goes.
I saw a thing yesterday online of how many Republicans have voted in New Mexico, and how many Democrats, and how many independents. And
oh, really? What did they say?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Democrats have voted.
Okay.
A decent number of Republicans and independents, but that's kind of like we were talking about, how you kind of know who's voted and how it's going. And so we need to get all the Republicans out close to the end.
That's right. That's right.
If not on election day, right before it.
That's right. That's right.
Surprise things.
That would be an interesting situation if that were to happen.
Yeah, and of course, hopefully a lot of Democrats have woken up and are going to vote correctly, or have voted correctly this year, and things too. So
I wonder if, say Ronchetti were able to win, I wonder if he can borrow the sink that Elon Musk used yesterday. Musk walks into Twitter with a sink and tweets, "Let that sink in."
Let that sink in.
Let that sink in. And then Ronchetti could do the same thing. He could be walking into the governor's mansion with the sink and some stuff for the carpet to clean up after the dogs. And
yeah, I was going to say some Lysol and.
So all right, let's get into the report. I'm so sorry. I just
hey, no problem.
We've got
no problem
that.
at all.
All right, here's Aaron with your mid-morning update.
Good morning. This is Aaron Irving with LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC, bringing you your mid-morning stock market report for Friday, October the 28th. Stocks rose today despite a tumble in Amazon shares after economic data pointed to slowing inflation and a steady consumer. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 1.9%, while the S&P 500 was 1.7% higher. The Nasdaq Composite fought higher and was recently up by 1.9% as well after opening lower. The stock market is fractured this week as investors dump technology shares following weak results and outlooks from Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, and rotate into economically sensitive stocks that will benefit if the U.S. economy can avoid a recession. Amazon plunged 13% after the company posted weaker than expected quarterly revenue and issued disappointing fourth quarter sales guidance yesterday. Apple shares were initially lower and extended trading yesterday after the company reported weaker than anticipated iPhone revenue, but the stock has reversed today and was last up more than 7%. The company beat Wall Street estimates for quarterly earnings and revenue. Apple and some other positive performers like Intel have given investors places to cling to within the tech sector, subsequently providing upward pressure to the tech-heavy NASDAQ. The market has got a boost after the core personal consumption and expenditures price index in September increased 0.5% from the previous month and 5.1% year over year, which is still high but mostly in line with expectations. This is the preferred gauge of inflation for the Federal Reserve. Personal spending rose 0.6%, which was more than expected according to the data. The Dow and S&P 500 are on pace to end the week higher by about 4% and 2% respectively, while the Nasdaq Composite is set to finish slightly lower. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is 546 points higher at 32,580. The S&P 500 is up 61 points to 3,868. And the Nasdaq Composite is up 198 points to 10,991. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $1.24 a barrel to $87.84. Stocks of local interest, HF Sinclair is down 55 cents a share to $60.89. Walmart is up $1.46 a share to $142.19. Duke Energy is up $1.60 to $92.64 a share. And Apple is up $10.91 a share at $155.71. This is Aaron Irving with Oakley & Irving Wealth Management, serving business owners and energy industry professionals in the Pecos Valley and beyond. You can find us at oiwealth.com, run our offices in Artesia and Carlsbad. You can call us at 575-887-7075. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC.
All right, Aaron, you have a wonderful weekend. And
all right, you too.
See you back here on Monday. Right now, we're going to finish the show with a conversation with Dr. Larry Young from Artesia Animal Clinic. Take it away, Gene. Welcome back on Good Morning Artesia, and we've taken our camera over to Artesia Animal Clinic, and we are in Dr. Larry Young's office today. It looks to me, Doctor, like you're either a Texas A&M fan or a John Deere fan, but I bet it's really nice to have your own office here.
Yes, it is. I'm both, by the way.
That's great. So we've been telling everybody that, pardon your dust, you've been doing some construction, you've been moving into the new building. We're actually in the old building that has been completely remodeled. Are you pretty well done with your remodeling here now?
Yes, sir. We sure are. And just it's day-to-day stuff now. So it's good to get done.
Yeah. What's it feel like to have an actual I know you had an office in the other location. It was about half the size of this room, right?
Well, it's nice. I have a work desk where I'm near the action because with the new building, it's a lot much more space. And so this is my getaway at night or during lunch or whatever. But it is nice.
It is. And he also has a way of sneaking out, so if he knows you're coming, you can head out the back door. One of the stories that I saw in the news had to do with parvo in dogs. Apparently, a mysterious version, or dogs are being affected by it. What have you learned or heard about it, and what do we need to be concerned about here in this part of the state?
Well, I read the article, and I think let's first go back to viruses. You know, a virus is not a living entity. It requires a living host in order for it to replicate. And so there's several genomes or classifications for viruses, and parvo happens to be a DNA virus. It's a single strand. So you have single strand viruses, double strand, you have linear, you have loop, and they're all going to follow certain characteristics. In 1976, a disease showed up in Europe that caused cardiac myocarditis in dogs, as well as hemorrhagic gastroenteritis, bloody diarrhea. And dogs were dropping like flies, no pun intended. Didn't know. 2 years later, it had moved around the world and it showed up in America. And if anyone old enough to remember 1978, it went across just like West Nile virus did, east to west. No one had a clue while dogs were dying, particularly puppies, young dogs. At that time, it was any naive dog. Cornell isolated the virus, and then they worked on a vaccine, which came out. Interesting enough, it is a mutation of the feline distemper or panleukopenia virus. So it's one of the very few times in nature that you had a virus mutate and cross species. And so that's why they're worried about highly pathogenic avian influenza, is the what if it mutates and affects humans. We have a bunch of naive people and no one that can fight it off. That would make COVID look like a walk in the park. But twice since then that I'm aware of, we've had to go back and make changes in the vaccine protocol because of a variant of the parvovirus. And so most likely it's definitely going to show up to be parvo, and that will get the researchers working on it. You know, I think 1984 was one time. There's two different types. There's a type 1, type 2. Type 2 showed up probably 10 years ago, a variant of it in Oklahoma, but vaccines accommodated that, and you didn't have a problem with it on there. Easiest way still is to vaccinate, and you start a puppy out at 6 weeks of age, and they get a minimum of 3 vaccines 3 weeks apart.
Now, sometimes when people buy a dog, they buy a puppy, and they'll be told the dog has had all its shots. Especially in this particular case, when you hear that from the seller, is there a follow-up question that you should ask the seller when that happens?
How many? I tell people all the time, do the math. You're looking at a 6 or 7 week old puppy. And if you have to have 3 weeks apart, there's no way. So usually on our clients that are breeders, we give them a little sheet to hand out with their puppy record, and we stress that. You tell the new owner that we've started this. It has to be. Generally is 2 weeks after the third, you have full protection. I have noticed over the years, statistically, if a pup had 2 under its belt, generally you wouldn't have a problem. The last 2 years, I have seen dogs that had 2, waiting for the third one, that broke with the virus. So there's a lot of variables, as with any virus. And people shouldn't get too excited about that, because it's the nature of viruses. I mean, just look at the flu vaccine.
Right.
I mean, we're having to update those kind of things all the time on that, because viruses, that's just what they do is they have one purpose, and that is to replicate and then to infect other living organisms. And so it's going to do what it has to do to ensure its viability.
And you mentioned earlier that the parvo, there was that one rare case where it jumped species. COVID is still on people's mind. There's still a lot of talk about COVID and modifying the vaccines for the current variants. This is for humans, but we haven't seen anything in a parvo-related virus that has gone over into the humans. And is there any suspicion that maybe this virus that's affecting the dogs may have come from a human?
No, it came from the cat back in 76 in Europe. So it mutated from panleukopenia virus in the cat to the dog. And there's never been any evidence of it moving. Now, when you say parvovirus, that is a family of viruses. So the correct term is the canine parvovirus. There's a porcine or pig parvovirus. Cats have one. Humans have one on that. But human's not going to get it from the dog, nor is the cat going to get it from the dog.
Right.
But it is highly infectious to naive individuals in the canine population.
Okay. How is this particular canine parvo spread?
Oh, it's spread fecal oral. So the virus, and I'll talk about the testing in a minute. So the virus, at the point when they become infective, goes out the rear end and it's in the environment. And so they have done a lot of research on that. There is no way you can keep your pup from getting exposed. But exposure does not mean that you get sick. Because you'll see litters where out of 8 pups, 1 or 2 will get sick. The other 6 get their vaccines and go on and live. Just because a pup has parvo does not mean it's going to die.
Right.
You know, it can be very fatal, but a lot of that depends upon the individual. So it's spread from getting tracked around. And I think it's good that people don't take their puppy out when they first get them until they're fully vaccinated. But the people leave. Stray cats cross your yard. One study years and years ago showed that flies could carry it. Birds pick it up and carry it. So it just keeps getting reintroduced on that one.
Yeah.
But exposure does not mean that you're going to get sick.
You mentioned testing to see if the dog has parvo or is sick, or maybe they are exhibiting some symptoms and you're trying to determine exactly what it is. Talk a little bit about the testing procedure.
So the test is you swab a fecal swab, and the test tells you that if you get a positive, you know the pup is at the infective stage. So a lot of times if you get a negative, that's good to know, but that doesn't mean the dog doesn't have parvo. So you have to go back and use some common sense and look at the history. Where is the dog in its vaccination status? Are we having a parvo epidemic on that?
Yeah.
And what are the clinical signs? Parvo is going to look like a lot of other things that relate to gut. If your puppy gets in and eats spoiled chicken and gets bloody diarrhea, guess what? That's how parvo looks. Not every parvo has blood in it. But a lot of it depends on, probably one of the biggest things is that a parvo puppy most generally is going to feel pretty yucky, just like we would with this influenza stomach flu.
Yeah.
On that, you feel pretty yucky.
Sure. Is the only time to give the parvo vaccine is when they are a puppy, or is that something that's administered later in life for a dog?
Generally in this area, until they get old, I would do my dog every year. And I have seen probably 8 or 9 older dogs where people had read on the internet that they didn't have to, and they go out 3 years and they tested positive, and older dogs don't handle it well at all. So, a good example, Eddy County had a horrible, in the 70s, late 70s, Eddy County had a horrible canine distemper problem. And the vet clinics in the county started pushing vaccines. Guess what we don't have a problem with? The one unknown question is why parvo is still 40 years later such a problem. That's the one thing you would think. I think I've seen in the last 3 years, I've seen 2 distemper cases out of all the dogs I see. And so the question is, why don't we send more? Because we vaccinate on that one. Same way with parvo, good vaccination status, proper care of vaccines. It's probably your number one issue, when someone says, well, we gave the vaccines. Well, that's good, you gave the vaccines. So you either have one or two things. Either they have to be cold, they have to be stored promptly cold because they're very sensitive to heat, and they have to be given. So you can't just go, if you're going to buy your own, you just don't go and put it in the pickup and then go here and go there and then get around to it on that one.
You got to have the cooler with the dry ice or something like that.
Yes.
So if folks have questions about parvo in dogs, or if they have read any of the articles, like you said, there's the internet out there, so there's all kinds of, there's good things and there's some things you need to question or ask about. Obviously, they can give you and your staff a call and ask about it.
Yes. And if you are going to go to Dr. Google, I'd look at Cornell has a good site.
Okay.
I wouldn't go to Billy Bob's Kennels on that. You want to go to
no offense, Billy Bob.
Yeah. You're gonna want to go somewhere that's going to have some medical research backing what they're saying on that.
Yeah. And check it out. So we want to say thank you to Dr. Larry Young from Artesia Animal Clinic. Again, we're here in his actual real office in his new building, and they'll answer any of your questions about dogs, cats, large animals, whatever you have questions on. They'll be happy to talk to you about it. Bring your dogs in to Artesia Animal Clinic. Anything else on this segment?
No, just vaccinate.
There you go. Your dogs. Let's be clear, your dogs and your cats. We're not going to go into that other one, are we?
No, we're not.
No, we're not. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more here on Good Morning.